It's time for our 6-year anniversary show here on Studio Live today. Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Pete Johns. If it's your first time here, that's a bit weird because you're celebrating 6 years of something that you don't know about, but welcome anyway. That's very, very cool. Here on the channel, my goal is and kind of has always been to help you create, record, and release your best music. And we do that through tips and tricks and tutorial videos and a whole lot more. On this show, we're going back over the last 6 years, and I'm going to share 6 lists of 6 items. Yes, it's our 666 show, because I have a lisp and I like to say six a lot. So I'm going to share you the 6 mistakes that I've made over the last 6 years. I'm going to show you 6 things I've learned. I'm going to share you the 6 best moments. I'm going to show you the 6 people who have helped me. I'm going to share you the 6 most viewed videos of all time here on the channel. And then we're going to give a bit of a bonus of 6 things that I don't like about doing this, which we don't want to be all negative, but I just thought that would be a bit of fun. We've also got plenty of time for questions, so your questions, your comments, everything else. Yes, we're doing the listicle thing here today because lists are a thing. You know, BuzzFeed is not as big as it was, but we're going to be the new BuzzFeed. I thought I'd get us started off here with a little bit of retro nostalgia, because why not? Who doesn't love a bit of nostalgia? So this is the music that I wanted to open the show with here today, and if you've been around the channel for a while, you'll probably find it pretty familiar. It goes like this. And it was usually after that that you'd hear, "Hi, my name is Pete and welcome to Studio Live today. Today we'll be looking at something in GarageBand on our iPhone." And I didn't talk exactly like that back in the day, but it wasn't far from the truth. G'day to all the folks we have here live. I was just talking to Jade Starr, who, by the way, just finished her 500th episode of How to App on iOS, and she did tell me that it's probably a good idea that I actually check in with the live audience when I'm doing a live show within the first couple of minutes. Otherwise, you know, I might be having some audio issues or some video issues, and it's easier to correct that at the start of a show than to get 10 minutes in. So thank you. Shout out to Patrick over at the Garage Band Guide. He says, congrats on the 6 years. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate you. Congrats on, what, like 12 years that Patrick's been doing this. Hello to Alex Bacchus. Thank you for the kind words there, my friend. Hello to Audible Video. Hello to Gary Hubbs. Hello to Gortium85. SM Borthwick is someone who's been around the channel for quite a long time. We have Peter, who's a more recent channel community member, but still welcome to you. Mark Bro. Used to go by the name of Metallion58, and definitely been around here for a few years, so thank you for all your support. Chris Pizzy, same deal's been around here for about the last year, I think. Blue Frognick, yep, I'm going to go with that. Hello, Ricky Neal. Thank you for the congratulations, my friend. I know 666. It could get a little bit strange here. Thank you, Alex Bacchus, for the kind donation. Did you know, folks, that it's folks like Alex Bacchus who have been consistently keeping the lights on? There you go. You got 3 minutes in before we got the lights off. So yeah, there's folks like you who do keep the lights on around here at Studio Live today. So Alex has been a great supporter of the channel for a very long time, so I do appreciate you. Thank you, Guzzo of Oz, flying out to the bush. There you go. Well, safe travel, safe flying. Deep Gravity, our buddy Cam, also here in Australia. Hello to you. Hello to Joe, Glenn. I'm sure Barry's out at the Sheep Dip or somewhere nearby. So thank you for you. Thank you, Tremor Bear. Thank you, Lily Pillies. I know I'm 6 years old today. Or at least I'm a 42-year-old that's been doing something for 6 years. So what is that? That's 36 I must have been when I started doing this. It felt like I was much, much younger. But yeah. Thank you, One Up Gaming and Arcade. Appreciate you, my friend. Still dreaming of that cabinet. One Up Gaming and Arcade creates some great custom cabinets for arcade machines, and I love retro gaming, and I've been drooling over getting my own cabinet for a long time. So that will happen this year, I'm telling you. Gregory O'Sullivan, thank you for being here as well. Appreciate you. Hello, Carl C. from Mexico City. Just building my studio. Well, good luck. If you've got any questions, we've got a great community of people here that will give you all of the answers. Probably an overwhelming amount of feedback about what you should get and what you should put in your studio. Thank you, Christopher Rossi. Appreciate you here. Jerry Gomes is here. Thank you for dropping by and saying hello. Wow, see, this is why I'll say to Jay, this is why I don't do it. There's too much going on here. What's a sheep dip? Sheep dip is how to explain. Wikipedia. It's something that you do with sheep. You dip them. Barry can explain. I'll leave it to Barry. There you go. All right, cool. We are good. Yeah, RIP my Dreamcast. I had a Dreamcast. I loved the Dreamcast. We're going to get off track here today, by the way, guys. So yeah, get ready for that. There's going to be tangents. There's going to be rants. There's going to be all sorts of fun times going on here today. Let me just check my notes and make sure that there is nothing else I needed to say before we got started here. Okay, so what we'll do. So yeah, we've got our 6 lists. We've got our 6 things that we're going to go through. But before we do that, look, it's cliche to say, but I did want to put out a big thank you to everyone right here on Front Street to say thank you everyone for all of your support over the last 6 years. I say it a lot, but I'll say it again. It is YouTube, not MeTube, and it is the community and the viewers. And you'll, as we go through these lists, you'll probably learn that a lot of the things that I have learned and that I appreciate is that it is so much about engagement with people, engagement with the community. It's so little about, you think about your favorite YouTuber, these people that have millions of subscribers and have got all of this fame and fortune. Well, maybe not. All this fame at least. And you're like, wow, man, look how cool they are. But the ones that are actually doing it well are those that are actually tapping into what the viewers want and are answering questions that are being put out there by the people watching. So I hope that I can do that, and I hope I continue to do that. The other thing I wanted to start to open with here is that, look, I don't have a face for TV, and that's not me being self-deprecating. That's just me being real. And there's no way that me at 36, if I went to any TV station or traditional media outlet and said, I would like to stick my mug on a screen and talk about an app that a very small niche of people use and talk about creating music on a mobile phone and an iPad. There is no one. There's a few problems here. That is not a big enough niche for a mass media outlet to actually care about. Number 2, people on TV generally don't look or sound like me. Again, not self-deprecating, just reality. I don't care about it. I've made my peace with it. But the cool thing is that living here in the future in 2022, the democratization of what we can do, the democratization of creating video content, and the same applies to music. The democratization of creation of music has been pretty mind-blowing. The fact that I can do what I do and that this is my full-time gig, staring at a screen, talking into the ether, that's kind of cool. And the fact that you can sit in your audio cave with one of these and plug in a microphone and create your own song that will sound as good as, what people that had actual studios, real studios 20 years ago could do. That's amazing. So we do live in the future. And I wanted to reinforce that because it's kind of darn cool. Excuse me. Where was I up to? Where was I up to there we go. We're talking Dreamcast there. So I've missed a few missed a few folks. Wow. Why do I think that Jane Starr is quickly scrolling back to get that soundbite? I told you anything could happen here. Oh, look, I'm actually turning red. I'm getting embarrassed. I don't think I've been embarrassed for about 3 years. Thank you, Mark, bro. Despite my slight slip there, I appreciate that. I wonder what the captioning will put that as, because hopefully I recovered. But yeah, thank you to Mark, bro. 6 for 6 seems fitting. Well, thank you. 6 Canadians, 6 loonies, no less. That's cool. I have to turn my saturation down so I don't look so red. Oh dear. Thank you, Jade Star, and thank you for having me on your show just previously. Thank you, Frank, popping in to say happy anniversary and have a good stream. Thanks for everything. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. It is all about you. Let's see if I missed anyone else that has dropped in the meantime. I think I've said g'day to everyone. I think you've all been here. Yeah, so apologies for that. But that slip, that was so weird. Jam, whenever I think I saw you pop in there, hello to you. Yeah, that one was a keeper. 3 toonies, exactly. 6 loonies or 3 toonies. Yeah, an accidental carrot. There goes. Yeah, I know. But it happens. You know what? It happens. Patrick Chandler, hello to you. And thank you, Kyan, who was on the channel here on the Creator Town Hall. Kyan, a wonderful musician and very, very talented creator from right here in Adelaide, Australia. So thank you. And thank you to Ben Lofk X. Thanks for the channel. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, let's jump in because we're nearly at the 10-minute mark and we've got 6 of these lists to get to here today. So I wanted to dive in and what should we talk about first? Let's talk about Let's talk about the mistakes because I started doing this caper 6 years ago. So cast your minds back, all the way back to the 1st of February 2016. It was another time. There was no C word. Everyone was going places and doing things. And talking about masks was just when you had a few pimples and you put one of those Biore things on your nose. That was what we meant by masks back then. So yeah, it was a different time. And I was trying to create music. I was trying to create music on my laptop at the time. I was using a PC. I was using a bit of software called Cakewalk Music Creator. And I just found it super overwhelming. So I changed up and I looked online and I found out that there was this bit of software called Reaper. Oh man, Reaper can do everything. Yeah, Reaper can do everything. And you know what the problem with something that can do everything is? It's super overwhelming because it can do everything. So I wanted something simple. And it was at that time that I got my first iPad. And I was like, oh, there's this app called GarageBand on the iPad. And then I was like, oh, they've just updated it, so now it's on the iPhone. And at the time I had an iPhone 6S Plus, the old clunker. It's probably in the drawer here somewhere gathering dust, a little bit broken. So I was like, oh, this is cool. Started teaching myself GarageBand. And at the time, I was looking for videos, and folks like Patrick over at the GarageBand Guide were creating some videos about GarageBand iOS. There was some content out there, but no one was really committing to it. No one was really going all in on this stuff. So I thought, well, as I learn, I will document my learnings. I will just stick them up on YouTube because that's what you did, and more for me to go back and refer to. And lo and behold, I put out a bunch of videos back in February and March of 2016, and then kind of left it for a while, and then came back to go, oh, some people are actually watching this. Maybe I'll make more. Started making more, kept doing it. And then a couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to do it full time when my employer said, yeah, this whole C word thing, we don't think that we need as many people as we currently have. And I'm like, cool, I'm out. And the rest is history. So what are some of the mistakes that I made over that period of time? Well, number one is worrying too much about metrics. So worrying too much about the numbers. So when you first start doing something, and you can probably attest to this if you are creating music and you're trying to put your music on Spotify, and you're watching those Spotify streams and you're watching your followers on Instagram and you're watching how many people are engaging with this stuff. And it can actually get overwhelming. You can get to the point where you're spending more time looking at the vanity metrics than you actually are working on improving your content or improving your music or improving what you're doing. So the number one thing that I learned very early on, the mistake that I made early on, was worrying too much about the metrics. As soon as I stopped caring about them, guess what happened? Yeah, they got better. So I check in on them like once a week and just go, we're about the same, which is what it is these days. And I'll show you some metrics in a moment as well, just to show you what's going on. Number two mistake I made. So I was super sleazy. I didn't know any better. I was super sleazy earlier on, and I was watching a bunch of other channels, and what I noticed is that people on those channels were asking questions of the videos, but no one was responding to these comments. And I'm like, that's a bit weird. So because I'd started creating videos about this content and people were asking questions, yeah, you know where this is going. I would go onto other people's channels and respond to their comments with the answer to their question, but also with a cheeky little link to one of my videos. So maybe some of you first came over to my channel because I went and usurped you from another channel. Now, that's kind of pretty bad form. The way I look at it these days is it's okay to be in there and it's okay to answer questions, but as soon as you start, and look, a lot of channels these days have turned off linking anyway, so you can't do it, but a lot of people still do it. They're like, yo, did you come over and check out my fire channel? And they're in the comments of your channel, and you're just like, dude, it's just not cool. So I didn't know any better, and I didn't really get any repercussion for that. But when I look back on that now, I'm like, yeah, that's not exactly the best way to do it there, mister. So it was definitely a mistake that I made early on. Number three mistake was comparing myself to others and trying to copy them. So I really liked folks like Warren Hewitt, Produce Like a Pro, and I liked Joe Gilder, and I liked who was the dude, little dude, Graham Cochran. So these were the guys that I was watching, and I'm like, oh, okay, I've got to just do videos just like these dudes. And then I realized over time, I'm like, no, I don't. And I was just chatting with Jade about this on her show. But what I came to the realization of is I'm not going to be as good at Graham Cochran as Graham Cochran or Joe Gilder as Joe Gilder, but they got nothing on Pete Johns. I could be a much better version of me than they can. So it is about taking the bits that I learned from them and trying to implement some of those things, but trying to be a carbon copy of someone else just because they're successful and what you want to do. yeah, doesn't really work out. So that was a big mistake that I made early on. We'll pause there at number 3 just to come through here and and to talk about a few things. Thank you to Mark. Yeah, you don't want to get Kentucky Fried Chicken wrong. I used to work for Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah. The old KFC. Yeah. Let's see. We've got any other questions? Or if I had a wrench, we got some. Have we got some spam? Oh, I'll talk about you later. You just want a little bit of attention. I'll talk about the attention, and I'll talk about the trolls a little bit later because that's something that is on the flip side of what I like about this. Hello, Darren Anderson. Quick hello on Smoko. G'day to you. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, sneaky. I know, I was sneaky. I was sneaky Pete. Pete the poacher. Absolutely. Right? The proof is in the pudding. It's like the people that buy those, 1,000 YouTube subscribers and then they get on the YouTube content program like, well, it worked. And then YouTube go in there and like do their cleaning that they do and they lose like 800 subscribers overnight. And it's like, nope, it didn't. Yeah. Not so cool. Right. And as Thomas said, as he said, you can only be you, no matter how hard you try to be someone else. So that's good advice. And we'll talk about my learnings in a little moment too. Number 4, and I've got some, I don't want it to just be all me ranting. I've got some video evidence for this one. So we're going to open up this link over here. And I'm going to show you something from the past, from my sordid history on YouTube, because back in the day, you already saw this once, but we're going to show it again so that you can see the full effect of what I did. Because I was watching YouTube and I was looking at this stuff going, what you have to do, see, is you have to have like a 10-second intro introducing what you're doing before you actually do anything, because that's what all these other channels were doing. And then you got to have like a 10-second outro so you can put your end screens over it. And it couldn't be further from the truth. These things don't work. They're not a good idea. And I'll talk about why in a moment. But let's just enjoy, shall we, this one here. This is one of my earlier videos from February 21 of 2016, about my 4th or 5th video. And take a look at this, the iMovie-tastic with that filter effect on there, the intro that we have here for Studio Live today. You saw it already, but watch how we transition in here. Hey, Pete here for Studio Live today, and in this GarageBand for iPhone. Hi, Pete. This is Studio Live today. Who died, dude? Seriously, that was rough. But yeah, what I didn't realize then is that, and we'll talk about this later in terms of things that I've learned and do better now. But I didn't understand that you can't use your normal speaking voice. You can't use your normal amount of energy because the camera sucks and drains the energy from you. And when you're talking in this sort of environment, you don't have to ham it up. You don't have to be like, yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to YouTube. But you do have to give it a little bit of more pizzazz. So lacking in pizzazz there, to say the very least. But if we jump to the end, the other thing that I had on here is something that, was a massive mistake. So see if you can spot and let me know what the mistake I made here at the end was. Interapp audio to get a sound into GarageBand. So there's a few problems with that. And if it's not obvious to you, the main problem is that, you don't need little outro bits like that. Once you finish your video, you want people to be watching another video. Like what I didn't understand back then is the whole trying to get people. I just thought, people want a nice. It's like TV. You need the 30-second Family Ties introduction, and then you need the sit Ubu sit good dog at the end. But you don't. You really don't. You need just the facts, just the bare minimum to get by. So, once I started reducing and then removing a lot of that stuff, things improved substantially. And the other thing that I wanted to tell you, and this is a trap for young players and probably the biggest tip out of all this stuff, but did you see what I put in the middle there? Don't ever put a year. Why would I want this? This video is still relevant. It's about Interapp audio. Interapp audio works exactly the same way now in 2022 as it worked in 2016. That video is still relevant. People are still watching it. So why on earth did I put 2016? Just to remind people that it's really old and potentially outdated? No, don't do that. So yeah, that was a mistake that I made. At least you weren't Pete the racehorse. Yeah, I know, right? Well, I kind of was. I didn't put it in this, Derek, but speaking too fast was, Thomas had it. Speaking too fast was one of the challenges I had early on, and also speaking too high. So I spoke in a high voice and I spoke too fast, and when I get excited and passionate, I can't go back to there. And I sound a little bit like a race commentator, but probably more like a jockey. So I did learn over time, and there was two things. one of the things that I can say thank you to my corporate overlords for, and the training that I got in the corporate world, was to learn how to public speak. And learning how to public speak means I can learn how to YouTube speak. And the key things to me improving my public speaking was slow and low. Slow and low. Because you don't realize when you're talking that when you're using filler words and when you're trying to go too fast, in your brain, it sounds like that every little 1 second gap is like an eternity, but it's not. For people that are watching, it actually sounds quite natural. And it's okay to stop and pause and think about what your next word and what your next sentence is going to be instead of going, and trying to rush, because no one needs that. It's cool. Thank you, Christopher Rossi. I appreciate you helping me keep the lights on around here. Thank you very much to you and to everyone for your kindness. Pete, can I load current version GarageBand iPad project into older Logic Pro? I don't know. GarageBand 2, if it's on Mac, an older version can load into a newer version. Generally, a newer version can't load into an older version. So that's the basics of that. So there you go. Yes, circa 2016. That's right. 6 years ago. Let's move on. So the another mistake that I made is apparently not paying my internet service provider. No, I did that. But one of the things that I did that was good is using something like StreamYard, which allows me to actually come back again when we do have internet outages of that. So if you can let me know if we are back, that would be cool. That would be cool. Not as good as your Frozen. I know, I had a great Frozen shot with Jade before. We are back. Excellent. We'll continue on. We'll make hay while the sun shines. Hay. So yeah, I was talking about not starting things. So I didn't start I've thought out. I didn't start Patreon for a long time. I didn't start my affiliate links for a long time. I didn't set up a gear guide for a long time. I didn't start a website for a long time. And what I've learned over time is it's a better idea to actually start these things, to do things, and then you learn over time. So if things aren't super successful really early on, don't get your knickers in a twist and drop your bundle. It's actually better to do those things and then to learn how to do them. So the fact that, over the 3 years I've had Patreon, I think it's great. I think it's great that I have like nearly 90 patrons, but I've only got 90 patrons. Yeah, could I have waited till now and launched it and probably got more? Yeah, but I've learned so much about doing that. And it's the same with affiliate links. I've learned how to do it and how not to do it. I've learned all the rules and regulations around that sort of thing. So the more you do, then the better you get. So the mistake I made was waiting. Don't wait, folks. What are you waiting for? There's nothing to wait for. And the final one that we have here is actually no, that wasn't. Yes, it was. That was the final one. So yeah, long videos. That's right. So there was another one that I missed out before, but long form videos. I took a long time to say things. So the classic version of this, I'll show you this one over here. I'll just bring it up, hoping that we don't break things. But I did a video showing you how to create stems, how to export stems from GarageBand. And if we jump over to this one, we'll go over to the screen here. Take a look at the runtime of this one. 33 minutes and 59 seconds. I mean, I've since gone back and put timestamps in there to at least let you jump around. But yeah, 33 minutes to tell you all this stuff. And the level of detail I went into was excessive. So I didn't need to go into that level of detail. I didn't need to explain every little step along the way. So I've learned over time. And the proof in this one is if you go Pete Johns export stems now, you'll see that there's two videos. There's that original one, and then there's this one. Now, why don't I get rid of the old one? Well, I've got a link to the new one in the old one, but the new one is 14 minutes 32. And I show the exact same stuff. So I took a 34-minute video, I remade it as 14 minutes 32. Could I get rid of that one and just have this one here? Yeah, but that one's still getting views and it's still relevant. So maybe some people would like a longer form content and they do need it a little bit slower, and some people want it quicker. So yeah, look, and I know that many folks have said to me, they're like, Pete, you repeat yourself, mate. You say the same things over and over again, and you make the same video over again. And that's true. But the way I look at it is it's a channel. It's like a rerun, a show that comes on that you've already seen before. So my channel is a little bit different. I know some channels are like, everything has to be fresh and new and absolutely vibey. Apparently I'm choking on my own words here. But I don't believe it needs to be. I think that you can do things the way, and it all comes back to that first thing we said. You do you. And the bonus tip here, the thing that I learned is not learning about lighting early enough, because as you can tell, the difference between not having my softbox lights up there and actually having them is pretty darn night and day. Pun intended. It's night and day. So there you go. It is it. Yeah, Pete and repeat. See, I see what you did there. I see what you did. Very good. G'day, Dom. Thank you. I think I saw Dom Fatchin. Thank you. Congrats. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. I like it. Yeah, some people like it hard and fast. Some like it slow and gentle. But hang on. I've got my bell. That one's for you. That one's for you, Deep Gravity. Nice one. We're going to go on to our next section, which is my 6 learnings. So I thought after we do 6 mistakes, let's get positive. And some of these are going to sort of carry on from the old things, but we want to go through the 6 things that I've learnt in the last 6 years that have helped me here on the channel. Number 1 is don't stop because people tell you to. If I listened to the number of people that told me that they didn't like what I was doing, that I'm an ugly mofo, that I don't provide good quality content, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that GarageBand is for losers, I would have stopped about 700 times by now. And I haven't. And that's not to say that I haven't listened to critical feedback. I have. It was the reason that I recreated that video that we were just talking about, this one here, is that someone left a comment on that one because I read every comment and I reply to every comment. And they said, this video is far too long. You rabbit on for the whole time. You could have made this in half the time. And I said, you're right. It is. Here's what I'll do for you. I'll put some timestamps in there and you've encouraged me. I'm going to make another version of it. Made the new version of it. And we're all good to go. And this one's catching it, like it's 39,000 up to 66,000. So it is slowly gaining on the old version of the video. But yeah, I like to listen to what people have to say, but I'm certainly not going to stop doing something because someone tells me to. It's like the those X Factors. And I was watching a video the other day from musicians saying how much they hated, the idols and the X Factors and things, because there's people on there that are being told not to do things. And that's because they're being told from people that are in the music industry that are saying, you won't make it to the level that we expect, therefore you shouldn't try at all. Which is ridiculous because everyone has a different level that they're aiming for. Not everyone wants to be a multi-million-dollar, like selling gold records kind of producer. You might just want to create an album so that you can hold your album up like Mike Haggith and folks like that go, hey, this is my album. It's on vinyl. I think that's kind of cool. And it is. So yeah, don't let other people tell you to not do things. Absolutely. Next one, community is number 1. It's number 1, 2, and 3, really. I talked about it before that I'm a bit weird. When I first started YouTube, I replied to every comment because there weren't that many of them. There was maybe 1 or 2 a day. I'd go through a whole day where I get 0 comments on any videos. But now that I have a large number of videos, it's a lot more than that. It's a lot more than 1 comment. It's around about between 50 and 100 comments per day. You might think, what, 50 and 100 comments per day? How on earth do you answer all those comments? Look, it's not the easiest thing, but it's also not that hard because I do it on my phone. I do it while I'm like on a bus or while I'm waiting for my coffee or while I'm out walking around safely, like down by the river. If you hear a news story, it's like local man falls in river while looking at phone answering YouTube comments. Yeah, that'll be me. But yeah, you can do it at various different times. And the reason that I say to do this is because it's a point of differentiation. So if you go to any one of my videos, so let's go, we'll see if we can find that comment on here. So if you go to my videos and you come down here, you'll notice that every single comment here has both a like and a heart and a response from me. So there's a lot of comments here, and every day, old videos, new videos, every video gets a bunch of comments, and I just keep up with it. And it's that thing where if I stop doing it now, I'll never regain it again. So I keep doing it here. Yeah, and I can't find where the bad one was, but yeah, there's one that's like, yeah, you're way too long. But yeah, most of them are very positive. And again, if I listen to the bad ones that say don't do this, don't do anything like that anymore, then I'd probably stop doing it. But I'm not going to. But yeah, answering comments really helps. And when you're starting out, especially, it really helps. And I'm actually dumbfounded by some folks that are starting out, and I'll go to their channel and there'll be a really cool video, and I'll put a comment on there and I'll say, yeah, they've got like 200 subscribers, and the video's got like 20 views and 3 comments, and I see no responses to any of the comments. And I'm like, you're not doing yourself any favors there. So I've definitely learnt that community and responding to comments is all good. Thank you, Lee Davies. Appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you to Bleeding Red Beats, who is here as well. I appreciate you. Who else haven't I said g'day to? I think I've said g'day to everyone else. Number 3. There are no stupid questions, and the thing that I've started doing is to the other good news. The other thing I've learned about about responding to every comment is that you learn a lot of stuff. You learn what people are asking about, and it is amazing that the majority of the videos that I've made have been directly responding to something that someone asked about. So people had kept asking me, how do I convert? I didn't know why they really needed to, but they're like, how do I convert my audio to MP3 on an iPhone? And so I made a video about it. And as you'll find out later, it became one of my more successful videos. People were like, how do I connect a USB flash drive to my iPad? And I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll make a video about it. So instead of just spending all my time answering the comments, I actually go in and give them the response. I say, yeah, here's the video. I can go in. Once I've got a video about every topic, I can just link to that video and say, this video will answer your question. So listening to comments has helped me, and there are no stupid questions. And one of the things that I did, and I'll share this here. My wife finds this really funny because she uses it every time she descales the coffee machine. This is over on a very random channel called Semi Nerd. Don't bother going and subscribing to it. There's not much there. But I created a tutorial for how to descale my coffee machine. And it's only like a 6-minute video. But what I found is that I was asking this question. I kept going onto the DeLonghi website and the DeLonghi YouTube channel, and their description was just shite. Like, it was a really bad video that was really complicated. So I just made a real hands-on, here's how to do it, here's how to get it done. And as you can probably see here, accidentally had like 80,000 views. And if you go to the comments, which I do need to come in here and respond to because I'm not following my own advice on this channel, but everyone's just like, yay, thank you, you helped me out, you helped me do my be able to descale my coffee machine without having to read the manual every time. So yeah, there are no stupid questions. There's always people ask. If you've got a question, if you are struggling with something, chances are someone else is too. And it's that old thing that, when you're in the school and like, don't be afraid to ask the question, because there's probably 10 people that are sitting next to you nervously also not knowing the answer that wish that they had the fortitude to ask the question. So just go ahead and ask it. What did you use to make it? That was my iPhone. So that was literally just my iPhone with my iPhone audio. I'll give you a bit of a quick listen to it, because it's not great quality. It's literally just my iPhone 6. Follow the directions in the instructions here one by one so that we can get this right. Step 1's pretty straightforward. Turn the machine on and wait for it to be ready. So yeah, so it was just a bit of that. But yeah, it was interesting, and I've got the same. I've got how to set up my old my old Sega Master System and Atari 2600. Cleanest cup of coffee in Adelaide. There you go. Thank you. And thank you, Dom. Appreciate the kind words myself. Part of my content has always been positivity. It's infectious. Yes, people have called me infectious. We've always encouraged and explained the positivity of so many. Yeah, and that's the thing. And again, I've learned over time. You got to see one of my learnings, which I didn't put in my list here, but when things like the StreamYard crashes or the internet goes down, well, I don't have any control over that. I got 2 options at that point. I keep trying and hope it comes back and do whatever I can do here, or I put the wrong figure up, or I freak out and lose my ever-loving mind, and that's not going to help anyone. So I choose positivity. Now I'm just tempting the fate now, aren't I? I choose positivity. Boom, stream crashes, everything. Yeah, no, maybe not. So yeah, listen to people who've done it before. So this kind of goes contrary. One of my learnings goes contrary to what I said before, which is, don't worry too much about the metrics. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't try and do what other people are doing. But do listen to other people who have done it before. You don't need to make every mistake. Some mistakes are good. Some mistakes are inevitable. But you don't need to make every mistake. that other people have made. Prime example of this is that when I started doing Amazon affiliate stuff, there is a great channel called Primal Video. Does anyone know Primal Video? Any Primal Video fans? So raise your hand if you like Primal Video. Justin Brown. He's a dude, lives up in Queensland, Australian dude, and he is crushing it. And a lot of what I've learned, a lot of what I do has been through like he doesn't know he's my mentor, but through the mentorship of Justin and Primal Video. 1.17 million subscribers, can't be wrong. But he creates videos that answer direct questions. He creates videos that just have the information that you need. He creates videos that are simple and step by step. So I've utilized a lot of that same methodology that he uses in the videos that I create. The other thing that I thank him for greatly, I mentioned before that one of the things I actually asked him, because he was doing a Q&A. And I said, Justin, you do all this Amazon affiliate stuff. You live in Australia. I live in Australia. How on earth do you get paid? Because I don't know if you know this, but old Jeffy boy over there at Amazon, you know how he wants to pay people in other countries? He wants to send you a check, like an actual legitimate physical paper through the snail mail check in 2022. So the only way that I could get paid was by check. I would get these checks for like $100 and I'd take them to my bank and they'd be like, yeah, there's a $30 international check processing fee because no one uses frickin' checks anymore. And I'd be like, oh, dude. So I asked Justin, what do you do? Because I've got this, not only the US, but I have affiliate links from US, Canada, the UK, and and Europe. And he's like, oh, there's this service called TransferWise. I'm like, oh, there is? I go there, I check it out. It's a free service. You can set up bank accounts in the US, the UK. There's links down in the description if you want to do this sort of stuff. You can set yourself up international bank accounts, get paid directly into them, and then transfer them to your Australian bank account like that. All done. So again, if I didn't listen to that, if I didn't know where to go and who to ask and take the advice from people that have been there and done it, then I'd be in trouble. And I don't like trouble. I like to stay out of trouble. Trouble is my middle name. Righty. When will you be doing Pete's Small Edge? Oh, mate, I'm terrible with anything mechanical. The fact that I can descale my coffee machine is only because it took me about 7 attempts to get it right. You should have seen the outtakes for that video. I'm like, oh, crap. I didn't put the container under the right nozzle. It's going everywhere. Thank you, Amelia, a.k.a. Mrs. Christ. Appreciate you. Thank you for your kind words. I hope you are doing well. Gary has a lawnmower to fix for a friend. G'day, Frigsy. I hope you are doing well, mate. I know it's a bit late over there. Just in from band practice. Good stuff. Yeah, how good is Primal Video? Very good. He is very to the point. Totally. If you've ever wanted to learn about anything, yeah, go check out Justin Brown Primal Video. I mean, he doesn't need my recommendation. He's got plenty of subscribers there, but doesn't hurt. Thank you, Huska, as well. Appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for dropping on by. Where are we at? Don't know if you have only been. No, I definitely haven't only been positive. Like, don't get me wrong. I've had my down times. Not everything is roses all the time. It can't be. But again, I think I've often said that I don't judge people or situations based on whether they're good, bad, or otherwise. I base them on how they cope with it when things go wrong. Like, you can actually, a person's character can be often more easily defined by how they respond when things are not going well versus when they are. Anyone can win the lottery and feel good about it. Anyone can be a winner and feel good about it. But it's when you're a loser, like I can sometimes be, that's what really shows your fortitude and your ability to cope with things. So listen to people who've done it before. Let's rush through these last couple so we can get to some more lists. Try different things. Go outside your comfort zone. Go outside your niche. I listened to too many people that said, you must own your niche. If you're a GarageBand guy, don't you dare ever make any videos outside of GarageBand. Otherwise, people will tune out and they won't watch your stuff. And I went, okay. And I did that. And then I'm like, this is really dull. I'm going to burn out. This is boring. I'm going to try and make videos about other things that you'll hear about a bit later. And I'm going to try other show ideas. And you know what? If they don't work and people don't watch them, no harm, no foul. I'll stop doing them. That's what I did with Home Studio Q&A. I did a weekly Q&A show. It got boring. I didn't like it. No one had any questions. I was answering the same things over and over again. So I stopped doing it. And then I did Your Music Live instead. And that's gone really well. So yeah, do different things. Try different things. And as I said before, your energy level needs to be, I call it 2x energy. A lot of people have got this, like, you need to 10x your energy. I think Sean Cannell from Video Influencers, if you watched any of his stuff, he says, when you go on camera, you got to 10x your energy. You got to really put it out there. And maybe it's more of an Australian versus a US thing. But I actually think that if I 10x'd my energy, I would have a very different audience. Many of you would not watch this channel if I was 10x my energy. Let's just try a little experiment here. Let's just try this. If I was going to 10x my energy. What's up, guys? Welcome to Studio Live. Today on this show, we're going to be taking a look at how you can use your phone to create a song in GarageBand. Are you ready to go? Let's do it. Who's watching that? I mean, some people will watch that. Some people will be like, yeah, I'm hyped. Let's go. What's up, chat? But it's not me. And it would be really weird. And I wouldn't have the longevity to have that amount of energy. But what I have learned is that, as you heard from those earlier videos, 1x energy peak that you're going to have a chat to down the pub is probably not the right one for on-camera Pete. We need at least 2x energy Pete to be here on camera. So, but if you like that guy, maybe we'll start a separate channel. It'll be Studio Hype today, and it'll just be yo 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 yo, what's going on, my guys, or something like that. Or maybe not. There you go. There's my learnings. Sorry, everyone's just running away, just going I don't like it. Let's see if we've got any other questions or comments. Do you have any photos of your time as a DJ at the ice rink? Asking for a friend. I do. I've got photos, and I've actually got videos. So I do have photos, but it's probably easier if I go Pete Johns hockey announcer. I reckon I've got a whole video. Yeah. So jump on over here. I'll show a quick bit of it here for you since you've asked Dom, and since we've got a little bit of time. So over here, this is the setup I had, and this one was like a from the archive sort of thing, showing my setup. So we'll jump into this one from 2019, the before time. To the arena out there. Now, they're the only two channels I use. So this was me explaining the gear. Mixer, I can control my computer output if I want to output some sound directly from... Did I show myself at the start of the video? I can't remember. Where are we? Where's the start of the video? No, this was all from the other perspective. I think the other one maybe shows me, maybe this one. Yeah, there I am. So there, I think this one... Yep. Here now, I'm not sure why I'm talking to this microphone because that's not part of this camera. But I just wanted to show you around. This is one of my home away from homes. I do sports announcing, and what I am is I just need to change this song. What I'm doing here today is I'm doing the announcing for the Adelaide... Oh, I can see that was when, I don't know if you can notice there, but my skin's all blotchy. That was when we had our house painted, and for about a month there, I had this horrible rash. I know, too much information, but I had this horrible skin rash because I was allergic to some of the compounds in the oil-based paint. Don't use oil-based paint, folks, if you have sensitive skin when you're painting things, or if you do, you're going to have to like live somewhere else for a couple of months. Yeah, it wasn't fun. But yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, so go just search Pete Johns Hockey and you'll see those couple of videos and you'll get to see the setup I used and a few little clips from when I did that. Hello, Tim Osborne. Thank you for the kind words. You're a legend in the world of GarageBand. Thank you, my friend. You've helped me find a buried passion. You write and record your own music and to write for others. Thank you very much. P.S. My second song for Emily Jennifer Fern should be completed tomorrow. Very cool. I'll share with you for YML. Yeah. So if you don't know Tim Osborne, he's a music creator. And the last song he did, where he teamed up with this other artist, Emily Jennifer Fern, was amazing. We played in YML recently, and it was very darn cool. Thank you, Ed Zelinsky. Do you like being called Ed Z? I just started calling you Ed Z. I have no idea. You're probably like, Pete, I actually hate being called Ed Z. But yeah, hopefully you would have told me by now if you didn't. But congrats and thanks for years of super useful info and entertainment. Well, thank you to you. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you for helping us keep the lights on around here, because these softbox lights don't pay for themselves, especially since I don't get my 50% discount that I used to get from working at the energy company that I used to work for. They finally worked out I don't work there anymore. Thank you, Lily Pillies. Thanks for dropping on by. I appreciate you. Pete on 20. I know it would be weird. Let's go, bro. Yeah, I'd have to call everyone guys. No, what are they called? Boys. Hey, well, boys, let's go. What's up, boys? I really hate that. Like, I know the whole gaming thing is mostly boys, but imagine if you were like a cool gamer girl, and then every gaming YouTuber and every gaming Twitcher calls their people boys, and you're just like, oh, come on, dude. I came here to play games to get away from the BS misogyny of the world. Anyway. Dom says part of the fun being here, being privy to the part of history you've shared with us. Yeah, and I'm a bit of an open book these days. It's weird. I'm the most public-private person in the world. I don't like drama, and I don't sort of get out there and share a whole lot of stuff like off my own back. But yeah, when you got questions, I'll definitely answer them where I can. Derek says, everyone has an audience. Good example. I never use GarageBand and I'm not even making music these days, yet here I am. And look, I don't want to say that, I was about to compare myself to PewDiePie, but I'm not really. But if you think about PewDiePie, PewDiePie was a gamer and people watched him because he played games. But a lot of people watched him because they liked his personality, they liked his views on certain topics, and they liked that he was entertaining. And I hope that, because I watch channels like that too. I've said it before, I watch Tech Moan, I watch Lazy Game Reviews, LGR, I watch the 8-Bit Guy, not because I ever want to rebuild a Commodore 64, but I love watching them do it. And that's the thing. Sometimes you just enjoy watching people do things, even when it's not that. Dangerous job. Righty. Let's see if we catch up. Ed Z. You happy with Ed Z? Cool. Gregory says, question, DistroKid, can you pull a song just from Spotify? Look, it's something that I'm investigating because I'm sure I'm going to get the. I won't talk about that in detail here today, but go check out the news. Go search Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, Spotify. You'll get some news. I don't think you can. I think you have to remove it from everywhere and then re-release it excluding. But don't quote me on that. I'm looking into it. I'm onto it because I know I'm going to get the question. Logic. So the best channel is a good place to learn for Logic. So I can't remember the name of them, but I'm about to get into them as well. But if you go to my Logic video about how to get started, how to try Logic, knowing that I wasn't a good Logic person, what I actually did in this video is I put a couple of channel recommendations down here of the ones that I referenced when I was learning. So at least I thought I did. So this one, oh no, it was the other Logic one that I did that in. It's the this one where I showed the spatial audio, and I put some links down here. So it was so this one here, Why Logic Pro Rules and Music Tech Help Guy. So these are the two that I recommend here. So if you go find this video, my How to Use Spatial Audio in Logic, and then jump down here and check out the Why Logic Pro Rules and the Music Tech Help Guy. They're the two Logic resources that, there you go. Derek, we've got a second. We've got Derek. Hello, Tersh. I wish I could talk as well as you, but it's a learned skill, my friend. It is very much a learned skill. Yeah, there you go. Music Tech Help Guy. Exactly. Those two. And it might have been Derek that put me onto those guys, to be very honest, because Derek knows his Logic stuff. It's a learned skill. I was terrible at public speaking. I was really nervous. I would get butterflies. I would get sweaty palms. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand up in front of people and talk. And then, as I mentioned before, when I was in my corporate gig, I did a couple of courses. I did one called Think on Your Feet and another one called The Skilled Presenter. And of all the things I did in my 25 plus year sort of corporate servitude, it was those two courses that have had the biggest impact of everything. And I did a diploma of business and marketing, and that didn't teach me as much as this 1 day and 2 day course about public speaking. So my recommendation to anyone is to just learn it. Just try it. Just start doing it. And you don't have to do it to anyone to start with. I often say, if you want to learn about live streaming or you want to talk to things, just do talks. Do talks to your camera. Go somewhere private and just set up your camera, set up your phone, and just talk to it. And then watch it back. It'll be super painful. You'll hate it the first time you do it. But guess what? You do it the second time, you get slightly better. You do it the third time, you get slightly better. You don't have to share this with anyone. You can delete it straight afterwards. But that was something that they made us do in this course, is they made us actually get up and present and be videoed while presenting. And I learned a few things. I learned that I talked way too fast, way too high-pitched, and I learnt that I would sway from side to side when I was standing up. And it was really funny because they played it back, not to be mean, but they played it back in fast motion, and I was going because I was basically doing this two-step from side to side for the entire time that I was talking. And it was tough to learn. All right. Ice rink. Yeah, I did used to be an ice hockey announcer as well for the Adelaide Adrenaline and for the Adelaide Rush, the men's and women's ice hockey teams. Alrighty, let's for those of you watching on YouTube, and I know we've got some folks on Facebook. I don't think anyone's on Twitch or Twitter, but if you are, hello, say hello. If you're watching on Twitch or Twitter, give you a shout out, say g'day, because we don't have many viewers there. What I'll do is I'm going to put a poll on here because I'm going to ask a question. Because I've released a whole lot of videos over the time that I've been here. So I'm gonna put a poll out here. While we go through my top 5 videos, which is our next list, I'm gonna ask this question, which is, how many videos have I published on Studio Live today? And if you try not to cheat, but you can cheat if you really want to. But I'm going to put a few different answers here, and we'll see which one you think it is, because we'll go with a few variations here. How many options do I get? I think I get 5 options. So we'll go that one. We'll go this one. I know this is great. All right, we're going to go 4 options. So we'll go with that. All right, let's see. Let's see what you reckon. I'll go 1987 as one of the options. Let's do that. All right, so I'm gonna throw that out there. I'm gonna ask, how many videos do you think have been published here on Studio Live today? And I'll return and answer that poll question after we do this next section. I'm gonna find myself. Where am I? Here I am. I'm over here. All right, so we've got some guesses coming in here. 666, ooh, maybe. We've got about 1,500. 138, says Seba. Yeah, we'll find out. There's a few options that you have there. Yeah, I know oil primer is essential for painting wood, and that was the problem because we have wooden frames. Those door frames, this was my bedroom, and those door frames were the ones that caused me problems with that. Not fun, not fun. Alrighty, Huska says, do you feel like doing this channel has made you know yourself better or feel more comfortable with yourself in social situations at all, or feel more comfortable in your skin outside of YouTube? Yes, definitely 100%. My wife will probably tell you that I'm definitely I'm not outgoing. I'm not a more outgoing person, but I'm better in social situations. I have a lot more self-awareness. I have a lot more awareness of other people and my impact on other people. And in terms of conversations, I've learned that a two-way conversation, it is super important to ask questions and to listen and to respond accordingly. I think a lot of folks who don't do this sort of thing struggle sometimes to get the balance right between asking and talking. And what do they say? That you should be listening like 4 times more than you're talking or something like that in most group situations. But yeah, no, it definitely has helped. It does help. And I recommend it to everyone. It might not be for you, but if you don't try it, you won't know. Does it age me when you hit 99 videos and got excited and shared it? Well, it does age you a bit, Don. I remember, back in the day when I hit 99 videos and when I got my first 100 subscribers, my first 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, it was. You've obviously been around for a while. G'day, Russ. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Russ is dropping on by. Where are you now, Russ? Are you getting out of the cold, rainy, cold, snowy places? Come down to Australia, mate. We've got nice weather down here. So we'll keep that one going. So let's go through and we'll go from number 6 up to number 1 with this one, just to mix it up a little bit here. So I'm gonna jump over and we'll grab number 6. This is gonna open. Yeah, it's going to open. Oh, it's starting to open. So, number 6 video. We're going to count down the 6 most watched videos, most viewed videos here on Studio Live today. And number 6, is this one here. Now, I used to start my videos out and about. So, it's a little secret, not really a secret because I talked about it at the time, but because I worked an office job, I would walk to work, and on my walk to work, I'd often do the intro of a video, or sometimes in my lunch breaks. And then in my lunch breaks, I'd sometimes record the video, and then on my walk home, I would often edit the video. So I would leave in the morning, walk to work, plan out a video, maybe shoot an intro, go out for my lunch break, go over to the park across the road, shoot and record and do my GarageBand stuff, record that all on my phone. And then on my way home, I'd edit it all together. And then by the time I got home, I'd have the video file ready to go. I'd upload it to YouTube, and then I'd spend like half an hour customizing it and then release it. So that was kind of that's how I got that's how I worked a daily 9-to-5 job and managed to get a daily video out the door every day. So when we had starts like this, that's the reason why. So this one here I talked about it earlier, about converting audio and video to MP3s on iPad. So let's watch a little bit of the start here, shall we? Are you looking for a quick, easy and free way to convert your audio and video files to MP3 files here on the iPhone or the iPad? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how. Let's go. So you've probably noticed something different there. So this is from 2018. So this is from 2.5 years into my YouTube career. So from 2018, the first 10 seconds of that was, is this your problem? If it is, watch this video. And then it's a 9-minute video showing you how to do it. The weird thing about this video is it doesn't really work anymore because this is using the Shortcuts app. And the Shortcuts app used to let you convert to MP3. It now doesn't. And as I'm looking at this, it says workflow is now Shortcuts. I need to put a link at the top of this video to my new video, because I actually have a new video about converting to MP3 that actually works in these days. So that's something that I need to do. And if I'm smart, I've actually put that in. Have I put it in the? No, I haven't put it anywhere. So I put it in the comments down here. There you go. There we go. This video shows works with iPhone 12 and 13. So yeah, I've got a new version of the video that I've linked there, and I pinned in the top comment of my video, so that if folks watch this one and they're like, oh no, it didn't work, they can go to the next one. Could I take it down? Yeah, totally. But it's had 468,000 views. So, and it keeps getting views now. And even if people find this one, even if they come in here, because if you search convert MP3 iPhone, I'm pretty sure it's still, yeah, it's the second answer. Whereas this one, which is the current one, is the third answer. So I'd love to tell YouTube, hey, just switch these around. But if I remove this one, yeah, this one will go up, but I'm missing out on a bunch of potential views there. Plus, this still works with folks that are using older versions of iOS. So that's a few things about that one of number 6 video that we had there. I don't know Logic well. I don't know. I've done 2 videos on it, so I don't know it particularly well. Yeah, there you go. Dom's been around longer than Thomas Christ, and that is saying something. That's saying something for sure. Question from Thomas, well, before we get to number 5, are there any videos that you've had to delete because they were outdated, or do you keep everything for posterity? There's been only a small handful that I've deleted. I don't delete things because I'm embarrassed of them, because I actually think it's funny, and I like to go back and see my old school stuff. But I have, what I normally do is change the thumbnail. So, for instance, I'll give you an example here, Tom. So there were some videos, because the thing is with iOS is if people are using the older versions of iOS, it'll still be relevant for those versions. So for instance, if I go zip files iOS, if we search this in YouTube, oh, I don't have very good cut through here. Here I am. So I'm a little bit further down here. So I need to improve these thumbnails clearly, because more people are clicking on these ones. But if you come down to here, you'll notice that I've got 4 videos. So this is the iOS 15 video of how to zip and unzip. I've then got a iOS 10 and 11 and an iOS 13 and an iOS 12. So instead of doing that, what I'll do is I go back to these older videos, but I also link, and I've got to check this afterwards actually to make sure that I've actually done all this, but I link these older videos to this video. So the first thing people will see, the first comment will always have, here's a newer version if you're using the latest iOS, or in the description, the first thing it'll say after the name of the video is, if you're using this in a newer version, try this video first. So yeah, for me, because you can see here, even with zipping stuff, if you go back to the first zip I made, 13,000 views on that one, 19,000 views on the 12, 34,000 views on the 13, only 2,500 views because that's the newest one on 15. And yeah, I skipped 14 because that was the same as 13. So I probably need to go back and change this to iOS 13 or 14. So, and it's one of those things that there's not enough hours in the day to go back and actually do all of the admin stuff that I'd like to do. But I do try the best to keep up with that. Thank you, Ivan. Idea. I hope you are well, my friend. What about shouting random phrases in the chat will help you out. Absolutely. All right. So let's continue on, shall we? Where are we up to? Oh yeah, the next video. So that was video number 5. If we see, will this bring up our video number? No, that was video number 6. Well, let's bring up the 5th most popular. Oh, I've already started talking. Good old autoplay there. So this one with 549,000 views is my 5th most viewed video in the last 6 years.
So what is the difference between a USB mixer and a USB audio interface? Well, in this video, we're going to take a look at what the key differences are and help you decide which one you should consider for your home studio setup. Let's go.
And again, the intro bit there was still too long, so... So that was like 11 seconds of intro and then 6 seconds of that. So in hindsight, I shouldn't have put that in there. And I could go back in there and remove that. But again, posterity. So we'll leave it there. So this is one that, again, this came about because so many people were asking me this question. Like I'd done reviews of like my Steinberg UR12 interface, and I'd done reviews of my Samson Mixpad. And almost every second question on those videos was, what's the difference between an interface and a mixer? What's the difference between an interface and a mixer? So I'm like, look, I'll make the video. So I made that video. What is the difference between a USB audio interface and a mixer? And just so it turns out that that's a question that a lot of people ask, and that a lot of people do. And for the longest time, it's not as many these days, but again, if you go mixer versus audio interface into the YouTube search engines, I used to be top. Now I'm not. So a lot of other people made similar videos after mine, which is cool because let's be honest, I've made videos after I've seen them from other people. But yeah, it's cool. It's all the same stuff. But yeah, it's what happens over time. It's like you can only be at the top for a certain period of time, and then if people watch other videos and they prefer them, or they get more clicks, or they've got better thumbnails, then they get it. So what does that tell me? Well, maybe I need to go back and review some of those thumbnails and change them around. Maybe. We'll see. All right, let's go to, we'll jump through these, otherwise we are going to be here all day. I know you've got people to see and places to do.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect a USB audio interface to your iPhone or your iPad using a Lightning to USB adapter. Let's go.
So yeah, 2019 now, and again, my intros are getting even slicker. So we're only at 9 seconds now, and then with the little clip, that's only 3 seconds.
Hi, my name is Pete, and this.
And we're great straight into it. And you'll notice here that now I don't even say the hi, my name is Pete, and this is Studio Live today, where I do blah, 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 blah. If I was making this video today, I'd be like, step 1, you need to get yourself a Lightning to USB adapter. Step 2, you need to do this. Step 3, yeah. So even that has been sort of pared down a little bit. But this is one that, again, I got asked for a lot. So 579,000 views have come about from that video. Now is where it starts getting a bit weird. Now is where it starts getting a bit dodgy. Because, actually, no, this one's okay. This one is one, again, that I got asked about a lot. This is how to use USB drives with an iPhone or iPad. And I did a bunch of videos on this one. So this is one where if you want to be critical of me, and you're welcome to be, if you go USB drive iOS, you'll see. You could say that I own the category for this one, just a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those first 6 videos when you search USB drive iOS give you me. If you go USB drive iPhone, I only own 1, 3, and 4. And if you go USB drive iPad, 1, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, and the reason that this one's got the most views is that it goes to the top of the search. So I don't touch this. This is an example of a video that I won't touch now because it's getting a lot of search traffic, because when people search for that, they see that, and there's something about that image of it just saying that, and then that's what people want to tap on, and that's what people want to click on, and that's what they watch. And for me, I think it's because it's 8 minutes long, it's clearly showing a bunch of different stuff, and if I was going, hey, I've got one of those, I've got a USB drive, or I've got an SD card reader, and I want to use it on my iPad, then that's what I'll watch. So that one's been good, and again, if you want a little bit behind, if you want a little bit behind the scenes stuff, what I do to get that search result, because search results come down to a few things. They come down to your title, so how to use USB drives with an iPad or iPhone. That's a pretty direct title. Your thumbnail, super clear, iPad plus USB drives, and your description and tags. So my description here says USB flash drive, USB card readers, and USB hard drives. Why did I mention all 3 of those? Because they're keywords that people will be looking for and that YouTube and Google will be looking for. And then if you come down here to my tags, look at all these. So we've got iOS 13 flash drive, USB drive, iOS hard drive. So all of those phrases that I'm ranking the video for are all in that section there. So again, nothing to hide. All stuff that I've had to learn over the 6 years of doing this sort of stuff. So that was number 3? I think so. Let me just check.
In this video.
Yep. So number 2, this is where it gets super weird. And these are the ones that you're going to be like, what the heck is going on there?
In a perfect world.
The number 2 video that I have put out there in terms of views is this one. Charger port not working? This tip could help. Yeah, it's where I show how to fix a charger port using a toothpick. So it's literally me. It's 4 minutes of me picking gunk out of my phone using a toothpick and then fixing my charger port. Right? And I've done a few videos like this because guess what? You know what number 1 video is? The same.
Do you have a smartphone or a tablet? Chances are you do.
This was an older one. This is when I was like a bit rough on the intros, but I get a lot of grief for this video because it's 9 minutes 16 and it's get a toothpick, pick out the gunk, and then it'll work. So it's how to fix your headphone jack. And again, not a lot of things have headphones jacks anymore, but it's how to fix it by picking it out with a toothpick. And look at all this business. So yeah, so the comments are full of actual video starts at 4 minutes 12, actual blah, 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 to the point where I came down here and I put Click on this link for a shorter version, because I remade it to that 4-minute version. Jump to 5 minutes 40 to see the actual method. Watch from the start to see if this may help with your problem. Because that's the thing, there were two types of people. People that would watch it from the start and tell me how boring it was and how I didn't need to explain it. And then people that would watch a minute of it and then shove a needle in there and they go, oh, at 3 minutes you said don't use a needle. Why didn't you say that at the start? So yeah, can't win. Can't win sometimes with some people. But yeah, it goes to show, like, back to the advice that I gave sort of earlier on about not being afraid to get out of your lane sometimes. I saw a problem and I would talk to people and they'd be like, oh, dude, my headphones are not working. Like, they're doing this thing where, like, they think they're plugged in even when they're not. And I'm like, oh, you probably got some lint in there. They're like, what? I'm like, get a toothpick, dig it out. What? And they'd do it and it would work. I'd be like, hang on a minute. Maybe this is something that people aren't aware of, that you can fix your lightning ports, you can fix your headphone jacks, you can fix any of your holes. If you got stuff in your holes that didn't work, then you can dig it out with a toothpick. So yeah, it's a weird one. So there you go, toothpick and lightning ports. I'm still living off the toothpick shares, thanks to Pete. Yeah, oh look, it's weird. Jerry says, I use my iPad to watch your show and I don't see the links you put in the description. That part doesn't come up on my screen. Yeah, so that's a good question. Good question, good point. So this is like the how to watch Studio Live today. It's like the how to buy action figure man thing. So I'll show you what you need to do here, because it's something that is not super obvious and it's hard to find it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you here on my iPad. Boom! Oh, how good is having my iPad set up here all the time? Oh, except it's not. That's not my current iPad setup. I'm gonna have to unplug and replug, because that's not what's actually showing on my screen right now. It's something completely different. Let me just unplug that and replug it, and we'll see if it works. The short version is there's a little tiny show more button that you need to find, and it is super non-intuitive, and a lot of people miss the links. A lot of people miss the things in my description because YouTube doesn't make it easy to find. So it's not you, it's them. I'm like, it's not working, man. It's showing this static image of my iPad. No, it's stuck. It's stuck on what it was before, so I can't actually show it. But I'll do it over here, and I'm playing it here on my iPad. And what you need to do, so you have it. You have the comments there, and you can view all comments. And then in the right-hand side, under where you can do the full screen thing, you can tap a little drop-down arrow, and it'll bring it up. Now on the iPad, now it is stupid. It brings it up on the right-hand side in like a separate pane. So on the right-hand side where you see links to other videos, if you tap the little down arrow under the full screen button on your iPad, it'll bring it up on the right-hand side. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick it up and show you. We're going to go old school here. So I'll show you this. So for anyone that's using YouTube app on an iPad, they've made some changes that I really don't dig. And that is that, say you're watching this one about picking out stuff with your toothpick, and you're like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, check out the links in the description to see more. And you're like, what description? There is nothing here. What are you talking about, man? This little button here. So right here under the full screen button, tap on that one, and it's going to bring this up over on the side. So this is the description now. And now you can go in there and you can tap things, and you can go to the links, and you can do all the things that you need to do. At least I think so. Yeah. So that's the trick for there. And if we go to like another one, just to double show it, tap there. There you go. So then if you were watching this video and you wanted to go and find the equipment that I'm using, you can come in here and go, oh, okay, I'll tap the Amazon link. It's going to open up that Amazon link, and it's going to show you over there. So, yeah. And you know what? You know what, Jerry? There's a video. That's going straight onto my list. So I'm going to grab my list of ideas here, because that's an easy video for me to make. And if you're having a problem with it, guess what? A heap of other people are going to be having problems with it too. So that's going here onto my list. I'm going to add a new thing, and I'm going to say YouTube app on iPad, how to view description. Because it's not you, it's them. And I tell you, I've had the same thing. I've had other people. My dad asked me a very similar question the other day. So clearly, it is not easy. Andy Dion, hello to you. I hope you are doing well, my friend. A classic. I know it's a bit weird. Dawn, did I say good day to Dawn Janess? If I didn't, hello to you. Have you tried turning it off and on? I know that's the other thing, isn't it? Off and on again. Yeah, don't. And that's the other thing. You can watch it in Safari, because the YouTube app. Look, I have the YouTube app, and I have to use the YouTube app for many reasons. I I have YouTube Premium, so it comes on in the background. So I can have background viewing where I can actually watch it without having my phone on. So that's one of the reasons that I do that. But if you're on the iPhone, by the way, it's similar sort of thing. You need to tap that button, that same button. It's in the same location, just under there, but it does actually pop up down below. So it's just the iPad in the landscape mode that it pops up on the side. On the iPhone, it pops up directly underneath if you're watching a video there. Excuse me. Just going to make sure no one needs me. Oh, thank you. We have a PayPal donation. So thank you. I believe it's Francis Rod. Is this Tersh? I believe that might be Tersh. So thank you for the PayPal donation of $27.25 Australian dollars. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And yeah, if you're watching, if you do want to help us keep the lights on around here, you can. Don't forget to close out the poll. Thank you, Thomas Christ. See, this is why you have a good moderator. They help you do things. So we'll do that right now. We'll close out the poll. But yeah, just to finish that thought. If you do want to donate to the channel, you're welcome to. And I'll talk a little bit more about sort of how I run the channel and some of the challenges and the fact that it is a business now because I do this full time. So yeah, your donations are very much appreciated. They are actually income though. So when you donate, this is not to make you feel bad about it, but because it is my job and because it is income, guess what? I pay tax on it. So yeah, I donated $10 to Pete Johns and the tax man goes, I'll be taking 30% of that, please. Actually, Google says, I'll be taking 30% of that. And then the tax man says, whatever's left, I'll be taking 30% of that. And then my children say, and we'll be taking the rest of it. So it all comes out. You're very welcome. So yeah, let's close off this poll, and then I will reveal the answers, and I'll show you a little bit of the history of the channel here, because I think it's interesting, but it's my channel, so I probably should. So we're going to close the poll here, but potentially some folks have actually gone and found it, because you can find it. You can go onto like Morning Fame or what's that other one that shows you all the YouTube stats. But yeah, plus many of you kind of know that I've talked about the fact in the past that I've had more than 2,000 videos that I've created here. Which I do. Where are we? I'll just come down here. So, yes, the majority of you were correct. I love that 6% people said 3,782. Not quite that many. 27% of you said 1,379. 30% said 1987. Great year, that one. And 36% said 2,442. And that is the amount of videos that we've published. I say we, because you've helped me. Without you, I wouldn't be publishing videos, would I? So we have done that. So if we come in here, I'm just going to show this. So this is a chart of the history of Studio Live today. So I thought this was a little bit interesting to kind of show you the growth of the channel and what's happened over time. So here is February 2016, where I created 2 videos that day. I put out a couple of videos that day, and you can see there how many views that I was getting and how many videos I was publishing. So by the time we got to there, I'd published about 7 videos, and we'd had collectively maybe 100 views. I then continued not making videos all the way through till November. And you can see there the view counts going along there. It's like, yeah, I'm getting, some days I'm getting 70 views. Some days I'm getting 100 plus views. That's cool. I was happy. Started producing more videos again. So there we are. We've got more videos there. Don't know what this one was where I produced 6 videos. I think I did like a 6-part. I think that might have been when GarageBand version 2.2 came out. And I did 6 videos about the 6 new features. So that might have been that. Then we're just sort of doing it in the background, working a full-time gig, having young children, working through it. But as you notice there, the views are starting to get up to, 1,000 a day. That's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. 1,000 views. Cool. Publishing a video. You can see here, I start getting to the point where I'm publishing a video most days. So in 2018, I start going daily, and, there's a video most days, if not every second day. The view count's getting to 2,000, 3,000. 7,000, 8,000. Wait, what's going on here? 2019, I'm daily, and we're getting like 8,000 views per day. So I'm like, I'm going to keep doing this caper. Why wouldn't I? I'm going to keep going. So again, we're very much daily now. You can see those pink lines are starting to really clump together there. And so the views are going up too. So as I put out more videos, the views are going up, because guess what? These aren't that I'm putting out a video and getting 20,000 views on this day versus putting out a video and getting 1,000 views on this day. It's that it's collectively growing. As the volume of videos grows, so does the view count, because I've got more in the back catalog. And this is the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize when they start out, is that, yeah, you miss 100% of shots you don't take. So not every video is going to be successful. In fact, most are going to be a failure. Very, very few people have more successful videos than unsuccessful. So you continue coming through here. So we're into 2020. Oh, I'll show you this. So we're here. December 2019, we're here. March of 2020. Pete jumps on a boat and goes for a little jaunt down to Tasmania because he's taking a cruise. Oh, there's some news out of China. Some things are happening. Oh, they're happening in the US. Oh, they're happening in the UK. Oh, they're happening in Australia too. Turn that boat around and come home. Okay, I will. Come home. The world shuts down. Whoop! So when people were complaining about the C word and what was happening there, you know who weren't complaining? YouTubers. Because as you can see there, I've had pretty much a flat line growth from there to there, which is fine. I'm very, very happy with that. So from like 2019, start of 2020 to where we are now, the number of views I'm getting per day has leveled out, except for the fact that the world shut down. And then the world sort of opened up, and then the world shut down a little bit again, and then the world sort of opened up, and then the world shut down a little bit again. So I can actually chart the number of views I get on YouTube directly against the number of shutdowns happening worldwide, especially in places like the US and Canada and the UK. Because as you can see there, of the 26 million views we've had in the lifetime of the channel, nearly 10 million of them are from you folks in the US. So I've got one thing to say about that. USA, US. Sorry, I promised I'll never do that again. I started watching in August 2019. I needed to know how to export stems in GarageBand. There you go. Bling Red Beats came in on that, probably that original one we were talking about before, the 40-minute version that took way too long. So thank you for sticking with me. Look, I'm not showing that for any sort of like gloating or saying, hey, wow, look at all these numbers, except to show that when you just sort of keep pushing along. And it's a 6-year journey. Like some people come onto YouTube and they've been doing it 3 months and they're like, why aren't I growing? Some people do it 1 year or 2 years and they're like, why aren't I growing? Hopefully, looking at something like this, you can realize that it's not until I started producing weekly and then daily videos that I actually started seeing any growth and any views whatsoever. When I just put out a few videos and just let them sit there and simmer without doing anything about it, nothing was happening. And look, that's year. So it is. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I know that's cliche, but it really is a marathon and not a sprint. Sprint. Do I review music outside of DistroKid? I sent you a song I need your advice on through email, but I don't have a distro account. Yeah, I do. I've got a couple of songs I think that are sitting there in my email at the moment that I owe people responses to, that I'm just doing a quick listen through and dot point thing, which I do occasionally. So yeah, if you're one of them, that's cool. If you've got a song that you've released on SoundCloud or on YouTube or on slaps.com and you want to consider for your music live, yeah, you can go to studiolivetoday.com/YML. Yeah, I know. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I don't get too worried about it. And that's why I said early on, I try not to get lost in the stats. And I try not to worry too much about that because I don't control that. I definitely don't control when countries open up and close. And I don't control who's watching what and when. All I can do is put the best content out, to review my videos to make sure that they've got the best thumbnails and titles and tags and descriptions. And then the rest is up to all of you. Thank you, Church. Appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, appreciate the kind donation. Very, very, very kind of you. And GB Craw, happy birthday. Happy birthday to me, to the channel. Huska says I started watching in fall of 2019 as well. I believe I had trouble connecting my Apogee Duet to my MacBook, partly because the screen was broken. I bought it secondhand. Well, that's a bummer. Alrighty. Okay, we'll continue on. If you're having fun, like I know this is a bit of a different kind of video than what we usually do, but it's cool. Like, and again, I know it's a bit self-indulgent, so I apologize for that. But I'm enjoying the sort of reflection, and hopefully you're going to take a few things away from this. And again, it won't be everything, but it might be something. There might be something out of this that you go, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And I didn't know that, or I didn't think about that. And if you have any questions, by the way, feel free to ask them. I will be keeping an eye on the chat here. And if you do have any questions, feel free to throw them in there. We'll do a Q&A at the end, and I've got a bit of a bonus section right at the end where I'm going to talk about the things that the most frequently asked questions. All right, do we want? You need to throw this in the chat here right now. Do you want to hear the things I don't like, or my favorite moments of the last 6 years? So which one would you like first? We've got 2 more things to do and then Q&A. So we'll be here in about another probably 40 minutes. So about a 2-hour show. That's about what we planned for. So let me know, which one you would like to hear? Would you like to hear bad first or good first? Do we start bad and then finish with the good, or do we get the good done and then save the dirt for afterwards? What do you reckon? So I'll give you about 60 seconds to let us know. I have an idea, says favourite. Things you don't like, favourite. So it's 2-all. Favourite, says Bill. Bad first, it's 3-all. I'll give you another 30 seconds to open up. So it's 3 versus 3 right now. No, whoever's the next comment comes in here, whether you say good or bad, you win. Bad news. Oh, and save the dirt. Oh no, now we're 4-all again. Bad. All right. So we're 5-4. All right. We're going to go bad first. So we're going to go the bad and then we're going to save the highlights to the end. I think that's kind of well. That way you can end on a positive. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. A couple of quick comments before we jump on to that. SM Borthwick. Actually, we'll start with Mark, because Mark says, I started watching in July 2018 because Pete's video popped up in a YouTube search on a totally different subject. That's when I discovered GarageBand. There you go. So, because I've got so many bloody videos out there and it's so ubiquitous with the GarageBand stuff, sometimes, you do search for something else and you're like, oh, what's this GarageBand caper? Yeah, and the rest is history, Mark. The rest is history. SM Borthwick, our buddy Scott, says, I also started watching in August 2019. I can't remember what I was looking for on help because within a week you announced Songtember. I got caught up in that crazy ride. Yeah, very nice. Very nice indeed. Cool. All right. Yeah, we'll end on a high note. Okay, so let's talk about 6 things. I know this could be a clickbaity title that I would put out there. 6 things Pete Johns hates about YouTube. But let me start by saying this. I don't hate anything. I wouldn't do this as a job. I have a bit of a saying that I tell my children and I tell other people. It's like, if you're doing something that is supposed to be for enjoyment and you feel worse afterwards than you did before you started, you're doing something wrong. You need to pick a different thing, or you need to have a different attitude, or you need to do something different to adjust the experience, because it shouldn't be that way. And it's the same with this. And look, I know some of us have had to, still have to, do jobs that we don't love and have had to go through some challenges in the past, or are still doing it right now, or may have to in the future. It's not always going to be roses, and you're not always going to be able to do something you're passionate about. I'm lucky that I can. Not to say that there aren't bad days, and not to say that there aren't things that I don't like. So, the number one, we'll start with number 6. We'll do a 6-1 countdown on this one. So, number 6, it's the admin. Yeah. So you've already seen a couple of kind of doses of it. Like looking at graphs like this doesn't really float my boat all the time. I would rather be making videos. Coming in here and having to, check my search rankings on different search terms so I can see if I'm going to be found. That doesn't really make it for me. Coming in here and having to look at that pause, by the way. Coming in here and having to edit my videos and make sure that my descriptions are tight and that my tags are all right. That doesn't exactly float my boat. I'd rather just be talking. I'd rather be doing a show like this. If I could have 2 hours to just chat to you and to have this discussion, I'd rather do that. The same with, as I mentioned before, this is a business, which means I have to have a registered business name. It means I have to have a website. It means I have to pay taxes. It means I have to track all my expenses, all of my revenue, and everything that goes on. And and donations. I think it was Cam or someone that said, "What about if you send money to family or family send it to you?" Yeah, look, if I just said these are donations and these are just people I know sending me money, I could totally do that. But again, because I run a business and because some people pay me through PayPal for business expenses, I would have to be able to be really careful and prove that they're either a business revenue or not. So I go the conservative way and I just say, you know what, everything that people give me related to this community goes in as revenue, which means that everything that I buy and everything that I spend to do with this business as well goes in as expense. Swings and roundabouts. It works out fine. But yeah, the admin doesn't do it for me. Number 5, in a countdown of 6-1 things I don't like about this job, about YouTube, about content creation. It's the snobbery. Yeah. In the industry that I'm in and in the sort of stuff that I do, it's the snobbery of people that tell me that I don't have the experience to do what I do, that I don't have the talent to do what I do, that I don't have a face for TV, they're probably right, that I don't know what I'm talking about, or I shouldn't be doing it, or I'm doing a disservice, or I'm giving misinformation, or whatever it happens to be. And especially because I'm telling people that you can create music using your phone or your iPad and you don't need thousands or tens of thousands of dollars worth of gear. I get a lot of flack for it. Do I care about it these days? No, I don't really. It kind of rolls off my back. I've become very thick-skinned, of like almost to the point where I have to be really careful that I don't ignore the correct feedback. I don't ignore actual constructive feedback because that's important. But I do have to ignore people that are saying, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're doing. And the most recent example of that, I'm just going to have a quick drink. The most recent example of that was when I did that Logic Pro spatial audio video that I was showing you before. So if we just go, I'll just go to search my channel for Logic Pro, and I'll show you the one. I won't show you the actual comment because I'm not going to give any like airtime or screen time to it. But I went to this one, this video here. Look, it's done well for me. It's had 6,000 views. It was about, oh no, it wasn't this one. It was a spatial audio one. Other one. Go back. Hang on. I don't really know why I'm showing you this because it's not actually that relevant, but there's one here. So I did this video about how to use spatial audio, and it was cool. Like, it was very quick. The reason I made this video is that I was trying to find a quick 5 to 10 minute tutorial just showing you where do you go to do it, how do you open it up, how do you play with it. So I made this video because I had that question and I knew other people would have it too. Oh, did I get schooled? So in the comments, someone came in and they just flamed me. They tore me apart and said, "You know what? I won't show you, but I won't tell you who it is, and I won't show you their comment. You can go and find it if you want to, but I'm just going to bring it up here so that I can read my response, because this was really hard to remain not calm, but to remain. So the channel that made this comment, their first response was, "Warning, this video is full of mistakes, blah, 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 blah." So my response to it was, and I haven't even read what they've re-responded to since then, was, "Thanks for taking the time to comment. Apologies if the intention of the video wasn't clear. Most of my audience are GarageBand users who are dabbling in or considering trying Logic Pro, like me. I just wanted to share how to quickly get to the settings and have a play for those who are considering Logic Pro and its new features, like me. Wishing you a happy and creative weekend." So that took a little bit of composure, because of course when you get someone coming at you on the internet, the first response is to go, "No, that's bad. You're bad. You don't get it. It's bad and you feel bad." So yeah, sometimes just going, "No, that's okay. You can do your thing." And look, I went and looked at their videos. They do amazing videos. This is the thing. But they do videos that are not for my audience. And that's what I said. I'm like, yeah, this is great. And you do videos that are 40, 50, 60-minute in-depth deep dive tutorials. I did a 7-minute video showing you how to get to the settings. And I said at the very start of the video too, here's some links to Music Tech Help Guy. Here's some links to Why Logic Pro Rules, where you can get it. And perhaps the fact that I didn't mention their channel might have had something to do with the fact that they were quite upset about it. Anyway, what else did I like about doing this sort of caper? Yes, kill them with kindness. Exactly. There's no point. Doesn't help anything. Yeah, I don't get the value of doing it either. Absolutely, I don't get the value of that. And yeah, it's really the only way to go, in my opinion. Really the only way to go. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate you. I get way more than he should be giving. Oh, thank you, my friend. I agree. Thank you, Brad. For every asshat, there's a guy like me. You saved my life, honestly. Learning from you has been amazing. Well, thank you, Brad. And I'm glad you're creating and you've got your stuff together, because I know Brad had some hiccups early on in terms of getting himself set up and getting his gear working. And now take a look at him. Now look at what he's creating. It's amazing. That's the good stuff that we'll get to in a minute. Huska says, "I wonder if anyone who comes at you has been working in the floundering studio business, which has been losing ground with the rise of home record." Oh, absolutely. And look, I have nothing but empathy for those folks. But here's the thing. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. It's a bit like newspapers. You can't sell newspapers anymore because people don't buy newspapers. It's a bit like CDs. No one's buying CDs anymore. So you can't do that. It's the same with studios. The people that I know that own studios, that yes, they're suffering, but the smart people that own studios are starting to do hybrid stuff where they're using their studio, but they're getting people to send them stems from their home studio. And then they're using their studio skills and techniques to mix and master and do things. Or they're creating content. They're saying, "Hey, I've owned a studio for 10 years. You don't need to own a studio, but if you're doing stuff on your phone, here's some universal tips that are going to help you EQ those guitars." Right? So yeah, the people that are just like, "It's not the way it was and it should be the way it was and I want it to go back the way it was," grrr, yeah, get frustrated, get sad, come at me, but it's not going to help you and I'm not going to care. So you're kind of wasting your breath. It's a bit like the YouTube dislike button. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your breath. All right. What else don't I like about this whole caper? Everything I build is on rented land. It's as simple as that. The only thing that I own, and the tip that comes out of this and the learning from this is, if at all possible, if you can have your own website, have your own website. So I have studiolivetoday.com. It is not a glamorous website. I'm not a web developer. I don't do a great job of putting it together, but it has an archive of everything that I've ever done. Look, you can join a mailing list. It has an archive of everything I've ever done here on Studio Live Today. It's got my gear guide. It's got all my resources. It's got all of my links. It's got every single video that I've ever created and linked to it, because everything else is on rented land. You're watching me now on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or Twitter. They're providing me this service. They can decide tomorrow to not, or they can decide tomorrow to change it, or they can decide tomorrow to charge me an exorbitant fee to do something I'm doing, or they can decide tomorrow that my content is not deserving of their precious platform and they don't want it there anymore. They're not going to, because I'm a cash cow. I'm a revenue for them, so they don't care. So they'll just keep going. But yeah, it is a bit frustrating to think that, I'm kind of beholden to the fact that I have to do what Facebook say, I have to do what YouTube say, I have to do what everyone says, and I don't kind of own that space. So the one space that I do own is YouTube, and then Patreon. You could kind of say I own, but again, that's built on rented land too. Patreon can change the rules; they can change what they want to do, and I kind of just have to suck it up and deal. So there you go. There you go. Just join the mailing list. Good stuff. In my opinion, the future for studios is in mastering. Future for studios, if you are say you got 20 years experience in a studio, you know everything about EQs, and you can say, oh no, I can't use my outboard Pultec EQ, but guess what? There's emulations of that, and if you know the actual real thing, who's a better resource helping people like set the settings on their plugins? Like, that's what you got to think in terms of how does my skill set adapt to the future? Absolutely. Oh dear. Oh, Christopher. Oh dear. Thank you, Jerry. Yeah, no, it is little tip there. Maybe in the good stuff, maybe we'll talk about that as well. All right. Where were we up to? Yeah, rented land stuff. The third, we're going out to number one. The third is the random changes. The random changes that we have. And look, I've ranted on this enough, so I'm not going to rant too much. But you know what I don't like? You know what I wish would come back? The dislike button. So YouTube, if I disliked my own video here, look, feedback shared with the creator, learn more. So it doesn't actually show anything. It doesn't show that the metric has been removed except for the creator. So what YouTube said is that we want to protect the mental health of our creators. So we're going to remove the ability for any other member of the audience to see the dislike button. So on this video, this how to use spatial, and this will be interesting because I'm going to find out how many dislikes I have on this. Did that guy have an army of people that came in and disliked my video? Let's find out. So I can't see it here, or you can't see it here. We can't see it here at the front end, but you know where I can see it? I can see it in my analytics on the back end. So let's jump into my analytics and have a look here. So you'll be able to see a little bit of inside baseball here. So you can see I've had 911 views. I've had 42 hours of watch time. I've gained 1 subscriber, and I've made $5.34 of cold hard cash. But if we look at the engagement stats here, we can come down here and look at my likes versus my dislikes. So I can see here, if we see more. There you go. We have had, hang on, that's likes versus dislikes. Where's dislikes? We've had one. And it was on the first day. So I've had 43 likes and 1 dislike. So YouTube made this change with the reasoning that they're protecting the mental health of their creators. And I'm the only one who can see that information. You can't. You're not supposed to be able to see behind the curtain like that. So is that helping my mental health, or is that just sort of burying some stuff under the rug? I don't know. I don't know about that. What do you think? What do you think about that? I don't dig it. Anyway, Wild Rose says, I used to think you spoke fast, so I slowed down your videos. I listen to you so much I can follow you now. And I have slowed a little bit, but yeah, I still do. When I get excited, I do get a little bit I get a little bit too like that. So it is tough. Harry says, just posted a movie with home recordings, quick notes with a $40 mic, and after that, I'm automatically sent here. There you go. You got a new fan from Holland. I'll be back. There is no coincidence. Great stuff, Harry. Well done. And I'll have to go and check. What have you done? Quick notes. I like it. I like it. That's what we're all about on this channel. We're all about just getting things done. Use the gear you have to create right now. Bill says I was trained on a Neve console with 24-track Studer in 1980, but I have more production recording at home for free. Well, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, look, bring that knowledge, and that's the thing. I've actually, I won't mention names, but there are people that have actually worked in studios that they don't actually know how to use any digital recording at all, and they've come to me and said, Pete, can you just give me some pointers on this GarageBand thing? And I've said to them, hang on, you're asking me for help? Don't you work, like, haven't you worked in studios and on consoles? And they're like, it's completely different. I'm like, oh, they're like, yeah, it's completely different. Like, it's a different skill set. I said, oh, cool. Well, can you tell me what it's like to work on an Eve console then? Because that's pretty cool. So yeah, different things, horses for courses. Have you thought about doing a parallel channel on Rumble or Odyssey BitChute? I haven't, because I don't know what any of those things are, Dawn. Because I'm pretty simple and I don't know what any of those are. Are they other platforms? Maybe. Yeah, I know that a lot of people have started, like, there's the Curiosity Stream and there's like other sort of independent platforms outside of YouTube that a lot of creators are starting to share on. I guess I have Patreon, but I still use YouTube for my Patreon shows. So I haven't really, but it's worth exploring something like that in the future. Would you ever consider covering Primus? I think it would be hilarious to try fitting their songs into acoustic set. You know what song I think would be cool for a Primus song? I reckon Shake Hands with Beef would be cool. So I reckon down, 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 shake hands with beef. Do you reckon? Yeah, I love me some Primus. That's a good idea, Huska. We might have to try and work some Primus into an acoustic set coming up. Where are we at to? Just scrolling on down. I think it's so it won't encourage bad people. And look, here's the thing though. It's done exactly that, Mark, because people clearly don't get the sense of satisfaction that they used to. And I might be able to show you this. And again, I hope you don't mind this sort of behind the scenes inside baseball stuff, but I find it fascinating. I'm assuming since you're still hanging around, you find it at least slightly interesting as well. But if we come in here, I'll show you that. Excuse me. I'll show you the behind the scenes stuff of what I get to see. So I've just ruined it. I was about to show you this and go, see, I haven't had a dislike in how long now? So if we come in here to my numbers, so this is the, I know you won't be able to see it if you're watching, but I'll talk you through these. So this is like the video that I released last night, which is my new song, Toxic Ego, has 297 views and has 28 likes with a 96.6% like to dislike ratio. So one person's disliked it. But if we scroll on down here, check this, we've got one. So before that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, there you go. There were 11 videos before I had a dislike. And that was Your Music Live, which was probably disliked by someone who came in and said, yo, Pete, play my fire beat. And I ignored. So that's probably where that came from. But yeah, there's if you go through video by video, the number of dislikes that I used to get, look, it still wasn't very many, but on most videos I get 1, 2, 3, because people like to hit the button and see that they've made an impact. They like to see that, yeah, see, I showed them. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know. Derek Smith says it's like my Irish accent. When I'm drunk or excited, it comes back at full speed. Yeah, I know. The more, when I get drunk, I get loud and fast. My wife has to go, shh, quiet down, please. Yeah, things that change so quickly in the tech world. Who would have thought that Blockbuster rental stores would have disappeared when they did? Yeah, exactly. It all came out of left field, didn't it? It was impossible to tell. Is it possible to send you a direct mail? I'm a patron, and once in a while I'm stuck with stupid questions. Yeah, so if you're a patron, I've mentioned this before, but yeah, there's a message system on Patreon, so do try that. If you are a patron of mine and you want to contact me directly, that's kind of the first inbox that I check. So before I check my email, before I check my Facebook messages, before I check Instagram, because you folks are paying me. So there you go. So yeah, you can go ahead and do that, and plus my email's in the description, so you can always directly email me. But I'm usually about a week behind on emails. Sometimes I'm caught up, but usually about a week behind. But on the Patreons, I do like that. Yeah, the idiots don't realize dislike is still an interaction that has no negative impact on the channel or video. Exactly. If anything, it shows that there's interaction. Like some of the most controversial videos, because if YouTube thinks that people are going to dislike it, like how many people hate watch things? Who's hate watched something in their life? I think everyone has hate watched something at some point. I try not to do it these days because I don't need that sort of negativity. But every time someone does some sort of hate watch type viewing, yeah, it's going to cause an impression. And do YouTube care if people watch things out of hate or love? No, because guess what? They're going to serve ads, and as long as people watch the ads, click the buttons, they don't care. So yes, that's why certain people have certain shows on certain streaming platforms and getting paid certain amounts of money. Not because everyone loves them, because a lot of people love to hate them, and they don't care. Because if they're watching them, they're watching them. There you go. There you go. I hate watch cringe videos all the time, right? I kind of do that over my children's shoulders when they're watching the teenager yelling at them videos. I'm like, are you watching teenagers yell at you again? All right, we better finish this off. So number 2, things that I don't like. I don't like sales funnels. I don't like the culture of the music YouTube industry. Now I know I'm on a little bit of an island on this one because almost every other music-based content creator has their sales funnels and their click funnels and their courses and their course launches, to the point where I've actually been, people have reached out to me. Like there's these like promoters that reach out to me. And you know the one. You don't even have to, I don't have to tell you this stuff, but you already know it. They're pictured holding up awards. They're pictured in front of private jets. They're pictured next to their sports cars with their attractive blonde wives that may or may not be their wife. And then it's like, oh, did you know that we just did a course launch for a channel and got them $200,000 in 7 days? We can help you too. And so one time, out of curiosity, I reached out to one of these people and said, really, how did this go about? And I got this automated response back, because it's all automated. It's all sales funnel. It's all clicks and automation. So I got this automated stuff back. And eventually, like, they kept sending stuff to me until I just said, fine, whatever. What can you do for me? And they're like, hi, my name's Jenny. Wasn't Jenny. My name's Jenny. I'm an associate for Name of Dude. And I'm going to call you. I want to call you and talk to you about this exciting opportunity. I'm like, okay, I'll play along. I'm game. So we organised the time. It was a Zoom call. Came through, and I'm just like, hi, how you doing? And she's like, oh, hi, yeah, I believe you do this and this and this. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And what I actually pride myself on is the integrity. There's things that I don't like. The things that I don't like the most are false scarcity. When you say that a digital product is only available for a certain period of time when it's not. I don't like ramping down discounts and sending a whole bunch of sales funnel emails. So sending one email saying something's $100. If you don't respond to that, sending another one saying it's 50. If you don't respond to that, another one saying it's 20. I think that's disingenuous and I don't like it. And I value my reputation above all over anything else. There was a silence of about 10 seconds. And then she was like, okay, so, you could tell she was like shuffling through her script and her notes, just going, so, it's been nice talking to you. I'm like, thank you, goodbye. So, yeah. And look, that's not to say that there aren't people. Like, I like a lot of the people that do something like Lid Shaw. I like Bobby Osinski. I like a lot of people like Joe Gilder, Graham Cochran. Like, these guys have done good things. And I'm not saying it's all bad, but I think they're stuck in 10 years ago. They're stuck in these email funnels, and everyone's kind of, I think Jay mentioned it before, that people's BS detectors are super highly tuned now, especially over the last 2 years. People's BS detectors have just like been honed to this sharp level that we've never seen before. So it is really hard to pull the wool over people's eyes. And people know that it's not you. People know when they say, hi, Pete, so glad to have you here. To the point where if you sign up to my mailing list, like someone just did here, you'll get an email saying, hi, this is Pete's robot self. Pete really thanks you for joining this, because it's definitely not the real person. So there you go. There you go. I've just sent 15 Australian dollars. Very nice. Thank you. Appreciate you. Oh, hang on. No, I don't have any email here, but thank you. I do appreciate all I do appreciate all of you, and I do appreciate anyone who donates. Yes, you are all seasoned veterans. I love you. Love you all. All right, let's move on to the thing that I dislike the most. And it's not surprising, but it's the trolls. Look, it's not that I actually have an acceptance and a tolerance, but I say hate, but hate's a strong word. I feel very sorry for people, and it's not to go on a big rant about. It's just like, oh, they're such sad saps. They're living in their parents' basements. Blah 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 blah. No, but the old saying, that the saying I like best about this stuff is that hurt people hurt people. So people that go out and intentionally hurt other people for the sadistic joy of seeing someone else in pain or feeling bad have clearly been hurt themselves in the past. And that makes me super sad, because I don't want people to be hurt. I don't want people to be feeling bad. But the way I say, the flip side, the positive way I say that is that Happy, well-adjusted people that are members of a community and a society don't say outwardly negative things for no reason, simply to hurt people. Yeah, people get into heated debates. I'm not going to argue with that all the time. There are debates, but there's a difference between having a heated debate and going onto someone's channel, watching a video, or more often than not watching it, and just saying, "You suck, you look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, you don't know anything about it." No, they don't actually say that. They just say, "Oh, use insert profanity here." So, again, well-adjusted people just don't say that. These are people that are struggling with life. They're not adulting well, mostly because some of them are children. But even the adults, they haven't learned how to adult. They've probably grown up in an environment that has been very negative, where that sort of behavior was tolerated, or worse, promoted and endorsed. Yeah, if you don't like something, you just go tell it. I tell it like it is. I call a spade a spade. I don't care what people think. You just have to take me. You just have to accept me for what I am. All of that sort of stuff. It's not true. It's bad. So yeah, people will be people. Yeah, your heart, it does. It genuinely does go out to the trolls, because I feel sorry. And I think I've said that. Like, whenever I get hateful comments, I always respond to them, because I respond to every single comment. And my response is usually along the lines of, "Is everything okay? I hope you get the help you need soon. If this is what you are spending your time doing, I really hope that you get some help soon." Because it's sad. And they'll come back in one of two ways. Very rarely they'll come back and say, "Oh, yeah, I didn't really think you were a real person and would actually respond. Sorry, dude." That's like 5% of the time. 90% of the time they ignore it, or they move on to the next victim. And 5% of the time they'll just be like, "Yeah, F you, man. You just," and like, okay, see ya. Ban. And that's the cool thing. The reason I don't let it bother me anymore is that it's weird. People are like, "Oh man, freedom of speech. I've got the right to tell you what I think." And I'm just like, yeah, this isn't a democracy. This is not our channel. At the end of the day, I get to choose who gets to hang out here and who gets to leave comments on my channel. And if you're going to be a dick, I'm going to choose to have you removed, or one of my wonderful moderators are going to remove you for me. So there you go. Hi again, Bear. I am still ranting. I know. I warned you. I warned you. Didn't I warn you? Yeah, the trolls that aren't bots are mostly young kids that think they're funny. I know, and that's the thing. Sometimes they're kids. Sometimes they're kids, and sometimes they're adults, which is very sad. Very, very sad. Elite says, "I've been afraid of trolls for a while, suffer from acne and feel they're going to tear me apart, still growing a thick skin and getting ready to post my first YouTube vid. Your encouragement helps." There you go. Do it. That's right. This is a monarchy. No, this is a dictatorship. He's got... That's right. It's not our channel. I know, right? I know you do. You would have thunk it. Who would have thunk it? Live show with a crown and scepter playing Primus. That's right. Welcome to my kingdom. No, that's fine. Again, just be cool. Like, all of you are cool, and you can be. It's really easy. It's actually surprisingly easy to just be cool and be reasonable. It's actually harder to go out of your way to be a dick. That's my view, anyway. All right. I'm glad we got that. I'm glad we got that out of the way, and that we can send it, we can bless it, and send it on its way. Do you have any questions? If anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. All you need to do is put the word question in front of your comment, and we'll answer some questions. We'll have a little bit of time for a FAQ at the very end of this one. Thanks for hanging out. If you're having fun, you can hit the thumbs up button. If it's your first time here of a video on this channel, this isn't what we usually do. We usually do a lot of other things. We usually hang out and do tutorials, or we do the Your Music live show, which is our live music show every week. I do a happy hour once a week. And yeah, again, my passion, my goal is to have more people making more music. Whenever the nicest things I get, the best things that I get are when, in fact, let's just move on to them. Because I'm going to go with the best moments, but I'm also going to talk about the fact that the best type of contacts, the best type of emails and comments I get are when people are like, "Hey, Pete, I was struggling. I was trying to do this, and because of you, I now made music. I now made this song. This song created because you provided this assistance to get me over this hurdle." That is the best thing, because my goal is, like, if I could actually have a measurement that wasn't subscribers or money or any of that sort of crap, it would actually be number of people that I've been able to get from not creating music to creating music. Now, I've got no way of knowing what that number is, but I know it's some. And it gives me comfort to know that some people weren't creating music, and now, because they've been watching this channel, they are creating music. And if that's you, kudos. You're doing well. You're awesome. So, 6 best moments. Number 6, go from 6 to 1, was hitting 100,000 subscribers. And I put this at number 6 because I'd be lying if I said it wasn't cool. It was cool. I was working hard to try and get towards it. And when I reached that milestone, it was like, cool. And I was on Thomas Christ's channel at the time. He was doing a show. He was doing You Rock. And we were at like 99,998. And he did something which I normally say, don't do this. But yeah, people were like rounding up cousins and uncles and things to try and subscribe to get to that 100,000th subscriber. So that was pretty cool. So I do thank all of you for being part of that. It was fun. The number 5. So this is something that I did way back in March of 2018, and it was the first time I did a song in a month challenge. And we'll talk about something else that's a song in a month challenge in a moment. But the very first time I did one,
Hey there, my name is Pete Johns.
was this.
I'm a musician, I'm an audio enthusiast, and I'm a music educator. And I run the website, blog, YouTube.
So I talk a little bit. I did longer intros back then, and I should have stopped. So yeah, March in 2018. I set myself a challenge and I did a whole series of videos. Hopefully, if I'm smart, I've put the links down here. Yep, I did a 16-part series where I actually created the whole song. So here's part 1.
Hey, Pete here for Studio Live today.
Nice
now, a lot
spin,
of
buddy.
folks have been telling me lately that they want to see an end-to-end song recording video here on Studio Live today.
So that's what I did. So March of 2018, I did a song in a month challenge. I created the song. The song's called For the Birds. Many of you know it. It ended up being a song that I released, and then a song that was the first song on my album. So the 2018 album that I recorded and released later that year called Selfish Aware. So that was number 5. That was a pretty cool experience because it was the first time that I'm like, hey, people are digging this. People are on board. People are liking it. And then I thought, wouldn't it be cool if other people could join me on the journey? And then we created a little thing called Songtember. So for the last 3 years, 2019 was the first year, 2019, 2020, and 2021, we did Songtember. So this was a whole month where I did like a vlog style thing where I showed how I created the song, how I recorded it, how I mixed it, how I mastered it, how I released it, how I created the album artwork, how I did everything to do with this song, and then got it released. And since then, the first year, I think there was maybe 20 odd people that contributed and participated. I think the second year we had 50 plus. And then this last year in 2021, there was more than 100 people who participated in Songtember. So if you're new to the channel, every year we do that. We do Songtember, where from the 1st of September to the 30th, your goal is to choose, if you choose to do so, is to create, record, and release a song. And that's it. And it's fun. It's very, very cool. And the spin on the chair was gold. Wow. Right? Very cool. All right. Let's go to our next one. Hello, Josiah. I hope you're doing well. Bring back the spin. You reckon? Hang on. Let's just try it. Hi, my name is Pete and welcome to Studio Live today. Do you reckon we should do that? For those that haven't watched this, I'll do that. I'll do that on a show. I'll do that on YML. That'd be cool. To just spin around. Just do you know what would be cool if I was in the dark? Let's just try this. Sorry, we're getting way off on tangent here, but let's just try this. Hi, this is Pete. Welcome to Studio Live today. On this show, we're going to be talking about spinning around on chairs and turning on lights. Yeah. That's what you signed up for, right, folks? That's what you're here for. All right, Songtember's cool. Number 3. Going full time on YouTube. Look, it's a bit of a weird thing that I went full time on YouTube. If you told me it 5 years ago, I would have called you a lying liar who lies, because at that point I didn't even realize that there was the potential. Because here's the thing. Look, I joined the YouTube partner program a while ago, and the revenue that I make from the advertising on my videos is cool. And at the time when I was working a full-time gig, it was a very nice side hustle. It was a nice little bit of side income that came in every month. I wasn't going to argue with it. It was still taxable. I still paid tax on it because it was income. So there was that. But yeah, what I realized over time is that if I was smart about this, if I did Patreon, if I did merchandise, if I did Amazon affiliate links, if I reached out to sponsors like the wonderful DistroKid who sponsor our weekly YML show, that I could actually piece together myself close to a full-time income doing this job. And lo and behold, that's what I've been able to do. So throughout 2019 and 2020, I worked my ass off, working basically about 12 to 14 hours a day because I do my 8-hour shift, 8-hour job, day job. But I'd usually spend 2 hours in the morning and then usually another 2 to 3 hours at night with the side hustle stuff, just getting this stuff done. So it was amazing. And again, I thank all of you for supporting me because I couldn't get it done if it wasn't for you folks. Number 2, I just alluded to it, but it is a little show called Your Music Live.
Your Music Live.
Yeah, this one.
This is the first opportunity for me to listen to some music submitted by the wonderful Studio Live Today community.
I'm waiting for.
Look who it is there. Look at that. I wanted to play that just up to that bit because I know Derek is right here in the chat and he was featured, as was Thomas Christ, as was, I think, SM Borthwick. All of you were on the first episode and we just dropped episode 85 of Your Music Live. So we've been doing that for a very long time. It's been going for a while. So Your Music Live is definitely, it's been an eye-opener for me. It's been amazing seeing the music that folks are producing. And for me to just learn so much about creativity. Like the more music you listen to, the more ideas you get, the more you learn about the techniques, and then the more inspired you are to create your own music, which I think is cool. We'll just check the chat before I tell you the number one moment. I know, drum roll, please. The number one moment. Yeah, you got to do more of the spinning. Question for Dawn. I believe there's a function for a membership on YouTube or $1.99 or whatever you choose. Members have special icons and every 6 months your member thingy changes. Yeah, good question. And maybe I need to put this poll out to the audience because I was thinking basically YouTube membership wasn't available when I started Patreon. If it was available at the time, I might have done the membership thing because you can basically do the same sort of things I do with Patreon with the membership thing. So you can do member exclusive streams. You can do, like you say, members get their own little like avatar that says, "Hey, I'm a member." So yeah, do you think that that's something that I should do? I just didn't want to do that and Patreon. It seems like I'm just nickel and diming for everything if I have that and Patreon. I don't know. Nailed it. Where is Duncan? Duncan. Duncan is over here. Duncan's beak dried out. So we need to get Duncan a new glass of water. But he's still operating. He's still around the place. Duncan's my drinking bird. So Duncan is still around the place and he'll come back. But I still got my bell. So that's cool. I know. Yeah. No, my poor wife indeed. Don't worry. I agree with that. Although I did buy her gin. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Remind me to tell you about gin, and then because we're going to go over time. What a surprise! Just excited because it's been 6 years. It has indeed. It has been 6 years. All right. Yeah, the flagship episode. I know. Very cool. And yeah, it was very cool. It was a great song that Derek did, and it was a great start to YML number 1. It was very, very cool. Good old Duncan. We tried to name him. We tried to name him different things. We were calling him Donuts at one point, and because Duncan Donuts, yeah, and we'll call him Crispy because Krispy Kreme Donuts or something like that. I don't know. It was rough. All right, go down, Duncan. Down, boy. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Look, this is going to be super corny. I'm just going to go out there and say it. Number 1 is right now and every day. To be really honest, every time I hit that go live button, every time I upload a video, every time I get an email or get some sort of contact from anyone, I kind of like have to pinch myself and go, wow, yeah, I get to do this. I get to do this all the time. We live in the future. I get to sit here in my audio cave, which is also my bedroom. It's all, it's all very weird. And I get to talk to you. And we get to have discussions, and I get to learn things, and I get to hear about people and their lives, and I get to experience their music. And it's all very, very cool. So I know it sounds really wanky and really cliche to just say, oh, my favorite time is right now. But it kind of is, because I think you kind of do have to live in the moment. I think there's a tendency to worry about the future and reminisce too heavily on the past. Whereas I think the benefit or the thing that I've learned over time is that there is no time like the present, because making the most of what we have right now is the thing to do. I do. I love my job. I love my job. I want to play that song. The song. Oh, I'm on vacation every single day because that's my occupation. I love my occupation. I always get the lyrics wrong. By the way, I'm the worst at lyrics. My wife can attest to that. I'm terrible at lyrics. I suck at remembering lyrics anyway. You're welcome. Good job. Keep doing it. Yeah, the best job is the one you have. Exactly. Lucky to have it. Exactly. And look, I'm not gonna. I know I sort of complain about the fact that I was a corporate wage slave for 25 years, but I couldn't do what I do now if I didn't do that. Like I did have to. It's like when you work in the coal mine for a long time, and then you get to sit and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Like I consider this my semi-retirement because I'm lucky enough to be here, but if I hadn't done the hard yards, would I be able to do it as well? Would I be able to take the swings and the roundabouts? No, I couldn't. So, yeah, I did. I do. I'm thankful for the past. I just don't dwell on it too much because I can't change it. Until I invent a DeLorean time machine, I can't change the past. So gin. I haven't processed the photo yet. Let's see if I can find it. Because I did a photo shoot. I'm like, Georgie, come over here. So I'll just tell you it, and then you have to keep an eye on the socials, and I'll post a photo of it later. But because I took a photo of her and me and the dog, and so we did the happy hour, and I decided that because my wife came up with the idea for the happy hour and the concept and all the songs, that I wanted it to be her. I wanted any donations that came in during that show to go to her. And we got something like $60, $70 worth of donations. It's funny, whenever I say it's for my kids or it's for my, no wonder so many people use and abuse their children and their partners on social media and on YouTube is because, I'll be here and just hey, if you'd like to make a donation, it'll help me pay some internet bills and buy some gear. And then I'm just Georgie came up with the ideas for these songs. If you make any donations, I'll buy her a present. And people are just yep, here you go. Couldn't donate fast enough. So thank you to everyone who donated. So she got a really nice bottle of very, very nice gin, which do I even have a photo of it on here? I don't think so. But it's like a purple gin from a distillery here in Adelaide. You'll see it later, but it's very nice gin. So she'll be able to enjoy one of those while I'm doing the happy hour later in the future. All right. Will there be a live show on February the 13th? That's my birthday. I don't know. Depends what day February the 13th falls on. We don't have any other special edition because this is actually my day off. I know. I'm not even supposed to be here today. So this is my day off. So, yeah. All right. Well, I think we are. Look, we're right on 2 hours. And we are right here at the end of the show. So I was going to do some Q&A or some frequently asked questions. But you know what? We might hold those over for another day because folks have been very patient here. We've had 2 hours worth of chatter and 2 hours worth of time together, which has been very, very cool. What I want to do is to kind of bookend this stuff because when I first started in 2016, I was working on an EP, which was called, I forgot the name of my own EP. How terrible is that? In time. Recoil. Thank you. So I was working on an EP called Recoil, and I was doing it in GarageBand. And just yesterday, I finished a brand new song that I've created in GarageBand, and it is called Toxic Ego. I'm gonna go out with playing this one so folks can say goodbye to each other and their farewells and any final comments or any final things that you got going on. There you go. February 13th is GB GarageBand Weekly. There you go. So it'll be GarageBand Weekly. So I'll go out by playing the latest mix of this song. It is going to be released very soon, in the next day, and then we'll be kicking into a brand new song in the month of February. So a lot going on around here. We've also got Creator Town Hall coming up on Thursday. I know that's a bit early in the morning for those in the US and Canada, but for those in other places like the UK and Australia. And I've got the wonderful Mike from Creative Source on the show. We've actually got 3 ridiculously good ones. We've got Mike from Creative Source. I've got Ricky T. Brown from the Home Recording Zone Facebook group. And then we've got Night Train 1988. So 3 epic Creator Town Halls coming up back to back to back. So that should be a heck of a lot of fun. And of course, we'll be back with all the usual stuff. I'm getting this song out there. I think I'm doing a video on the creation of the album artwork. And then I'm taking a couple of days off. Because I think I've earned it. 6 years, I'm a bit tired. So I'm going to take a couple of days off. But don't worry, because I'll be back. And we'll be doing Your Music Live, which will be Friday afternoon or evening or Saturday morning, depending where you are in the world. Thank you to the one and only moderator extraordinaire, who really doesn't have to donate, but I do appreciate it, mate, for the wonderful Thomas Christ. If anyone is here that is not aware of Thomas Christ, please get yourself over to Thomas Christ's channel and check out what he's got going on over there. You will not be disappointed. Thank you, Gary Hubbs. Appreciate you. Thank you, Christopher Rossi. Hello. Hi and bye to Andrew Reynolds. Thanks for dropping on by. Hi to everyone. Appreciate you. I love the energy enthusiasm. You guys rock. From Bonnie, Scotland. Uh-oh. I got 2 hours in without doing an accent. Oh, that was rough. Thank you, my friend. Happy channel anniversary. Appreciate you. Thank you, Barry, Glenn, and thank you, Mark Bro. Appreciate you. Here's to the next 6, right? I'm not going anywhere. Thank you, Bleeding Red Beats. That is awesome. Super kind and super generous. Rock on, says Gortium85. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Dawn, Janice, the singing nerve. Now, is it Janice or Janess? I say it differently every time. Janice, Janess. E or E? Hopefully I get it somewhere in the ballpark. I'm not great with pronunciations. Thank you to SM Borthwick. Thank you, Gortium. Thank you, everybody. Let's go out by taking a listen to this new track, shall we? So this is not written about anyone in particular, by the way. This is just I wanted to get back to a bit of my rockin' roots, and I wanted to write a rock song that kind of epitomized my views on people whose egos are a little bit too big for their boots. E and E. So E's Janice. E and E's? Yeah, there you go. Vortex dropping on. Hey, Vortex, I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you. Go and check out this wonderful dude's channel as well, Mobile Music Pro. If you're like, I wish Pete would do more stuff on Cubasis and not use GarageBand so much, go check out Vortex. Go check out Mobile Music Pro. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Let's go out with this new tune, shall we? Let's rock our way out of the show here. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, this morning, this evening, wherever you are in the world. And this is my brand new tune. This is called Toxic Ego. I'll see you next time. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. Keep rocking. See you soon.
You got an ego that drives me so crazy, but I just don't know how to quit. You think it's okay to treat me like a baby, and I just put up with it.
Thank you, Lily Billies. Sorry if I missed it. Cheers, mate.
It's the final time. I've just had enough of your arrogance and all the other stuff. Wonder if you know what the others say, or even if you care. I don't think you do, 'cause you got an ego that drives me so crazy, but I just don't know how to quit. You think it's okay to treat me like a baby, and I just put up with it. You treat the others like they don't even matter, and you're just the star of the show. One day I'm hoping you're gonna learn your lesson, 'cause you got a toxic ego.
Thank you, my friend. Much appreciated.
You're oblivious, you don't have a clue. Why should you care? It's all about you, 'cause you got an ego that
Drums by
drives
Jade
me so
Starr.
crazy, but I just don't know how to quit. You think it's okay to treat me like a baby, and I just put up with it. You treat the others like they don't even matter, and you're just the star of the show. One day I'm hoping you're gonna learn your lesson, 'cause you got a toxic ego. Oh no, oh no.
Thank you, everybody. Please enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. See ya.